Our boy wakes up to something more unrealistic than a unicorn smoking pot. A blonde beauty tells him that she likes to read manga too. He can only wonder what he did for God to bless him like that. A redhead shorty asks him if he's serious while grabbing his hand, while an Asian baddie looks at him the same way I look at a job opening after I completed my arts degree. Our boy just wanted a normal life, while a blue-haired hottie is about to profess what she really loves. Everyone points at him, calling him Kim, but that's not what his real name is, and he can only wonder how things turned out this way. He remembers waking up in the hospital, and everyone fussing over his miraculous recovery. The doctors were amazed. A woman was crying. They asked if he knew who he was and what happened before the accident. In reality, he was just an ordinary graduate student, but there was a freak fire in his lab and he died trying to rescue his hard drive and delete his internet history. I would have done the same thing. He couldn't get out in time and lost consciousness, only to wake up in a hospital. When he looks at his reflection, he is faced with the fact that this is not his face. On the ride back home, he starts inheriting memories from his host. He's been reincarnated as Kim, an ordinary middle schooler trying to get into high school. Both his parents are Korean who moved to Japan, and Kim was in a freak car accident and was unconscious for several days. Kim looks at his hands. His original life ended, and he's been reincarnated into an emo loser with Sasuke hair and a nerfed face card. But at least he won't have to attend grad school anymore. Anything's better than the hellhole he scraped from. He still worries that the possession can end at any moment, but just how is he going to live in another body with another family? His so-called mother tells him to go rest. He pulls up to Kim's room as if his body is acting on muscle memory. The moment he enters the room, he is shocked because the room is packed wall to wall with all sorts of manga and sassy figurines. This is the holy grail of degeneracy and otaku fetish. As a normie, he can't wonder why Kim kept these sassy figures around. But if he starts acting like a normie now, everyone will think he's not Kim. He looks at the wall, and it's a guy that looks like Kim in a hell of a cringy position. Our boy's eyes widen because he realizes that this dude Kim has been caught playing this character his entire life, 24/7. Honestly, Kim looks like the type of guy that believes him when in doubt. Stroke one out. He starts going through the manga and the characters, trying to get a handle on how Kim acts in school and with his family. He even comes across a super cringy lover, but feels like he's seen this character before. He opens up a manga called Scramble Love, where two girls are fighting to scramble the MC's eggs. It reached record-breaking sales for a return to classics type of manga. It was a rom-com that gave everyone what they always wanted, the childhood friend getting a happy ending. The whole fandom was ablaze for months. He wonders if he should stop, and after 5 hours, our boy ends up getting infected by the otaku virus. He can't stop and is tired as hell but still keeps on reading. His mom asks if he can take orders for any customers that come in. This is his time to shine. He calls his mom his creator, telling her in an emo voice that he understands. Surprisingly, she buys the act and tells Kim that he's the same as ever. Kim can't believe that that cringy line actually worked and also starts rethinking Kim's life choices. But being the son of a barbecue restaurant owner is a great stroke of luck because he can get all the protein he wants. All of a sudden, a customer walks in with blonde hair, another blondie by his side. The blondie is blushing like a tomato, telling her guy that she's going to feed him and he can't run away. While the guy looks like he's suffering from success and complaining that his lobster is too buttery and his steak is too juicy, Kim recognizes the character as Ryuji, the guy from Scramble Love. He can't believe that he's been reincarnated into a manga he just read. He was an ordinary student who passed out in a fire trying to wipe his search history and save a hard life. God decided to bless him for his saucy search history by reincarnating him in an otaku's body. And it looks like the otaku Kim is just an extra in the manga Scramble Love. As an NPC, he stayed up all night reading the manga. Kim looks at the duo being lovey-dovey, but it's not too different from his real life. He was an NPC then, and he's an NPC now, but at least he hasn't been reincarnated into Attack on Titan or Blood Sea. Just a rom-com with no demon lords and a peaceful life. All he needs to do is not get involved in Ryuji's life, and he should be fine. After that encounter, he lived a very busy life reading every book in the room for research purposes, and applying to a private high school far from home. Entering as a top student, secured a full scholarship, and enrolled in the student council. Ro just proved that you can be an otaku and a productive member of society at the same time. But still, he lived on as Kim and has to adapt to his new reality. He starts drawing and decides that maybe he should have a hobby like working out. And that's how he started going on the treadmill, building up stamina, doing push-ups until he passed out, and being intimate with the bench press. He felt his blood rushing and turned into a gym rat from an otaku. Time passed and it was finally time for high school. Everyone is looking at a man walking towards the scoreboard. The man smiles, turning his attention to someone straight out of Dragon Ball Z or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Don't tell me that this is our boy Kim. Turns out it is. He successfully made it into the second year, and turned his life from the time I was reincarnated as a loser otaku to the time I was reincarnated as a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure extra. The cherry blossoms loom beautifully around the campus, and he's a sophomore. He remembers the last year pumping iron day and night and getting jacked as hell. He managed to pull off an insane bulk up all to protect himself. This is the world of a manga, and even though it's a rom-com, he's worried about alien ghosts and yakuza appearing out of nowhere. That's why he got buff as hell and became obsessed with muscles. He walks up to his class, and Yaguchi, the original manga's main heroine, comes up to Ryuji. Ryuji sighs that it's not a really good morning. Kim is sitting a few feet away listening to the conversation. It's turned into a disaster because for whatever reason he ended up in the same class as Ryuji. And Bro's idea of becoming unnoticeable was to gain 300 pounds of lean muscle and look like a Yakuza mob boss instead of a high schooler. Ryuji starts witching about everything that's gone wrong since the start of the day. He lost his wallet and bumped into some unknown girl on the street. Kim's surprised to hear that. The teacher tells everyone to shut the hell up and get to their seats. Yaguchi goes to her seat and the teacher keeps on yapping about her important announcement. They have a transfer student, a blonde girl with emerald eyes and a mischievous smile who pulls up to the front of the class. Everyone wonders if she's a foreigner or something. She introduces herself as Kishimoto, someone who moved from far away and someone who loves cat sweets and soup. Kim can't believe that he not only landed in the same class as the main character, but also as the main heroine and the side heroine. He remembers that she was the most popular character in the polls, but at the end she still didn't win. As fate would have it, Kishimoto is seated right next to Kim and Ryuji. Ryuji guessed that this is the violent girl from the morning, and Kishimoto remembers the punk running into her and calling him a pervert. The sensei, who's as blind as my mom when my little brother gets into trouble, tells them that it's great that they know each other and she should sit down. They sit together and Kishimoto gives Ryuji the cold shoulder. She also hands him his wallet. Kaim, who's as stiff as a board and as noticeable as an elephant in a petting zoo, wonders if he'll have to deal with this for the next 2 years, or maybe he should just transfer schools. Later, a kid asks Kim to borrow his manga. Even though he is a high schooler, he still tries to keep up with the manga. Since this world follows the laws of rom-coms, he needs to keep up his memory. He imagines a nerd about to get his joystick rocked by 2 baddies. All of a sudden, Ryuji grabs Kishimoto's hands, asking for a private conversation. It's about the accident in the morning, and she agrees while blushing. The student asks Kim if something's going on between them, but Kim eloquently excuses himself from the situation by telling the kid he's got to go take a dump. As soon as he gets into the hallway, everyone freezes, wondering if the Yakuza is taking over the high school. There are even rumors about our boy being a successor of an assassination school or a clan boss. Kim keeps on wondering why they are acting so different just because he bulked up a little. Bro is calling his bulk up a little. The way I tell my parents I'm a little broke after completing my arts degree. He decides to hurry the fuff up and check the events between the two. He needs all the intel he can get and gather information. The only place in the school where they can have a conversation is at the back of the school, and that's where Kishimoto and Ryuji are getting along. Ryuji uses the legendary palm press apologetic technique by clapping his hands together and bending over. The same technique I used on my landlord when I couldn't pay the rent. Unlike me, it works for our boy. Kim can believe that cringy air pose is something that makes Kishimoto laugh. Kishimoto calls him an innocent little twink, and she is not the kind of girl who holds grudges. Everything is going smoothly between the two, and Kim, being the master of disguise, is standing in the bushes with 2 branches in each hand. He notices that Kishimoto is cheerful, and no wonder she was number 1. The poor girl is going to lose to a childhood friend. Another girl spots Kim crouching behind the bushes and being as unnoticeable as a vegan sausage at a family's grill out. The woman calls out to Kim asking what the secretary of the Great Student Council is doing crouching behind the bushes. The woman is an 11x10 baddie asking if he's spying on schoolgirls. She is a descendant of the famous Kyoto noble family, head of the student council, and somewhat of a villainess. Kim remembers this girl falling out of the popularity polls and being destined as a gag character, but he still wants to get away since she is part of the main cast. Her name is Kumiko. Kim uses his silver tongue to make an amazing excuse that he was looking at a branch and thought it would look good for the student council room. He hands the plain-looking branch to Kumiko, trying to act normal and failing harder than I failed to get a job after my arts degree. Kumiko looks at the tree, wondering if his brain size is inversely proportional to his muscle mass, while he still blushes and takes the twig. Since the secretary picked it out, she'll display it in the room out of respect. Even though Kumiko was making excuses, she bought it. He asks if she's been studying for the new semester, and she laughs. She wants to have a meal with the student council officers, and wants to grant Kim the opportunity to join them. It's clear as hell that Kumiko has a thing for our muscle-bound hero. When our boy ruins the opportunity by pointing out the cafeteria serves peasant food, and she might not like it, Kumiko just laughs, saying that she knows the commoner food and knows that they serve a mean spicy pork bowl just like one she had at his family's restaurant. She likes those things. Kim can't decide if that's a compliment or a diss, but it's still impressive that someone so bougie can eat at the cafeteria. It clears the air that the cafeteria doesn't serve spicy pork bowls. This crushes Kumiko's hopes and dreams, so she asks what they serve. Kim replies it's a similar dish. Kumiko's not sure anymore and wonders if she really has to eat this mystery meat. That's when a goody two-shoes walks up to Kumiko, asking where she is. Her steak is getting cold and they must return at once. This is Akagi, Kumiko's loyal subordinate and vice president of the council. Akagi looks at Kim, realizing that Kim is as thick as his shoulders and as thick as a slab of tofu. He doesn't realize that the council president is hanging around Kim because obviously she likes him and is even skipping her meals to hang out with him. Kumiko quickly pushes herself in front of Kim, asking Akagi not to spill the beans. Doesn't he know that snitches get stitches, but he can't tolerate this idiot's behavior towards her. Since Akagi's family has served Kumiko's family for generations, he is going to take the fall and get this muscle-headed gorilla to go out with her. She tells Akagi to cool his jets, and besides the Vago steak is getting cold, they leave and Akagi still has no idea what's going on. Bro, if you don't want to play, just pass the controller. Who would say no to premium cake for life and Vega beefsteaks every day? After school, he pulls up to the sub day, making everyone in a 10-mile radius suffer from insecurity. Kim wonders what a day he had. Thanks to his intense build-up, everyone avoids him except for his classmate, and as long as he stays quiet and doesn't get involved with the main character, he should be unnoticeable. Our boy is fired up, the size is king, and he's glad he worked out. An innocent girl near him wonders if he's a high schooler or a mobster. Only 10 minutes are left till his train arrives, so he pops open a can of cherry and decides to live his normal life as an NPC, or so he thought, because the next thing he knows is Kishimoto recognizing him as her classmate and introducing herself. Just why the hell is he here? Is his intense bulk up going to transfer Ryuji from the main character to the cock chair? Or will things get back on track again? Kishimoto apologizes. She was worried about what she should do but ran into Kim. She acts as friendly as a golden retriever, asking for a favor if he knows how to get to her destination. Kim looks at her, unsure why. The girl's not scared off by his insane build. And how did she know his name? Dummy forgot he's been wearing a name tag all along. Kishimoto laughs, telling Kim he's a good person. Kim's surprised. When people look at him, a good person is not the first thing that crosses their mind. Yakuza, most sure. Masochist, maybe. Unemployed and hopeless, definitely. So what in the world is she talking about? Kishimoto explains he's the kind of person she thought he would be, but he's more interested in knowing how she remembered him in the first place. Back in class, he was given off. A weird aura fell through 5 different dimensions. It was actually impossible for Kishimoto not to notice him. And there are also rumors going around about how he fought 50 bikers and won, how he turned down the Yakuza, and how he gave Goku purple nurples. It made her curious what kind of person he was, and she's glad he's kind and humorous, so he's a good person. Kim's conflicted because Kishimoto is the main heroine, and he didn't want to get tangled in this lame love drama, but seeing how kind she is despite all the rumors, it's clear she's #1 in the popularity polls. He wonders if he should just flex his muscles and scare her off. He's snapped out of it by Kishimoto calling her and pouting or ignoring her. Kim thanks her for the compliment, and Kishimoto tells him that everyone will see who he really is. He shouldn't worry about the rumors, and even though he looks intimidating, he's a kind person, so they should be friends. Kim, who's been trying to scare her off from the start, realizes it's useless. She's the type of girl who noses into everyone's business. Even if he was an ordinary otaku playing dress-up with his dolls, she would have asked who the character was, so crossing paths was inevitable. But he still wants to stick to his acting like an NPC way of life. He tells Kishimoto that he's looking forward to being her friend in a way that would make most girls file a restraining order, but she just laughs. She then asks if he knows how to get to her place. He looks at the address and realizes she's from Uptown, where luxury homes dot every alley, a classic rich kid that doesn't know how the world works. He tells her to take the same train he's going to board since they live together. His town is only 2 stops away from her place. Kishimoto's glad they live so close to each other, and Kim realizes that he's digging himself into a deeper hole. He's been preparing to survive this rom-com from the start, even building a body as if he were about to fight Satan himself. The only thing he didn't do was read the original manga, Scramble Love. He decides that the best way to get more information about this manga is to become friends with Kishimoto, and if things go south, he can always give her advice. He imagines threatening a guy into going on a date with Kishimoto. Our boy, in his glorious delusion, decides that as a classmate he can be her friend and help her out. And it won't change the plot too much. He even offers her a drink on the house and she goes for a Coke and enjoys it. She tells Kim she hasn't had any sugar since she's watching her figure. Turns out she's also a model. She shows Kim a picture of her in cosplay. Kim notices she looks different in person. Maybe it's because of makeup, and she angrily laughs. It's not. Her unlikely friendship has formed. But will it push Ryui into the cock chair, or will the plot still proceed as it's supposed to? The train enters the station and they board it. Every guy in a 10-mile radius tries to avoid Kim's eye contact, whispering that he's the demon lord himself. Kishimoto laughs that traveling with Kim has its perks. No one's going to bother her while on the ride. As they get off, she tries to memorize the route. Kim leads her into the train. She gets off his top and she smiles with the radiance of 1,000 suns, promising to see him tomorrow. Kim is left wondering why in the world will he have to entertain this golden retriever every day from now on. It's finally recess and Kishimoto is trying to sniff out where Kim is. She walks around and finally finds him, sitting in the parking lot and enjoying sushi by himself. She looks at him with tears pooling around her eyes. She feels sorry that Kim has to eat alone every day. Kim replies, if he eats in the classroom, everyone looks like they are about to get a stroke, but she insists he should sit with others. Our boy is more comfortable eating by himself. The other kids don't need to piss their pants every time they see him, stuff his face full of protein. And besides, she was the one who said someday everyone will see the real him, so he is going to wait patiently. Kishimoto still feels bad, but her mood shifts as soon as she spots the sushi rolls in his lap. She immediately starts drooling over them and asks if she can try one. Kim is glad she stopped crying and offers her one. Kishimoto laughs, asking if he wants to see her crying forever, and he is so funny. Even though our boy's sense of humor is as lively as a 4-week-old dead possum, our boy mistakes Kishimoto's interest for the sushi rolls, and she pouts that she is not in it for the sushi rolls. In reality, he has gotten rather close to this blondie. Since she is cheerful, it is not awkward hanging around with her. As soon as she pops one of the sushi rolls in her mouth, she is moved to tears. She compliments Kim and his family's restaurant, and even offers a slice of her rolled omelet. Our boy is living the good life. He has got a scholarship, and he is picking up a rolled omelet right off her lap. But as soon as he pops one in his mouth, his body freezes as if trying to shut down. Since the omelet has an unholy amount of sugar added to it, it is way too sweet for any God-fearing man. Kim asks how much sugar he put in. Kishimoto replies a reasonable amount. In the same way my university charged a reasonable amount for an arts degree, without warning me that I would be unemployed, broke, and potentially homeless in the next 5 years. Kim decides he can't let his friend go down the sweet road and ruin her health. He will show her how to make a mean omelet with only salt. Kishimoto is not too sure and laughs at his strange taste. Even though she is the strange one, that's when the fun police arrive. And by fun police, I mean Kumiko and Akagi. Kumiko, on the other hand, looks like she is about to burst into flames and tears simultaneously. She points at her friend Kim, yelling that their heterosexual relationship can't be forgiven. And as council president, she won't tolerate that. Our boys are confused. Improper relationship. They are just two people eating lunch together. Akagi accuses him of making excuses even though he's been caught. But it wasn't an improper relationship or anything. So why are they acting strangely? While Akagi and Kim are arguing about whether he's right or wrong, Kishimoto notices Kumiko, and Kumiko asks if she's got anything to say to her. She enthusiastically replies that she is the Dark Student Council President. Kumiko is stunned. Why is she called the Dark Student Council President when she is Asian, and not from the chocolate community? Turns out there are rumors that she wears a black uniform. Kumiko yells at Kishimoto for being rude. Is it so wrong to wear black? Her people say that she's been cosplaying all her life with that black outfit and that red fan. Hearing her being compared to a cosplayer is enough to crush her spirits. But she still tells Kishimoto to watch her back. Our big mallard waifu is not going to get her muscle gorilla snatched by a golden retriever girl. She just hides her face and runs away for now. A tactical retreat, leaving our boy and Kishimoto speechless and confused. Later, our boy is sitting in the classroom and Kishimoto asks what he is doing. Turns out he is trying for clubs. The only club he should be joining is the Z Fighters, but he still wants to go through all the sports clubs one after another. With a plan in mind, they finally decide to move. The reason why he wants to visit every club is that he is curious how far his strength will carry him. He smiles as a purple aura blazes around him, ready to crush all the aspiring athletes' spirits. First up is the football club, where two delinquents are busy kicking balls and missing. The goalkeeper realizes that his aim is as good as a blind marksman. The delinquent curses that they couldn't score, and all the footballers are tired of their shenanigans. The delinquents even accuse them of sucking, and that's when someone calls up on their bullfish. The losers call themselves the Bone Crusher Duo, but as soon as they see the 6-foot football captain, the captain tells them to get out of his field or get clapped. They realize it's not worth it and leave with pale faces. A short king tells his captain that he is glad he saved them. The captain asks what he thinks about this year's Frenchman. He is told there are no talents and all of them are trash. If only they could have one strong recruit, everything would be different. Poor guy doesn't know that his prayer is about to be answered in the most unexpected way. The delinquents are gritting their teeth, yelling how dare the coach treat the bone-crushing duo this way. They are complaining about the soccer heads and how they should just take over the school and claim it as their own. But they can't take on the captain since his kicks clock at over 100 kilometers per hour, a huge exaggeration. While the blonde idiot is busy making up scenarios in his mind about winning a fist fight, he accidentally bumps into the one person he absolutely shouldn't. He tries to act tough, asking who is the unlucky guy that's going to be beaten up, only to realize it's Kim, the hulking high schooler of Shibuya. Kim glares, asking him to repeat what he just said. The duo realizes that they are going to be turned into the bones crushed to dust and stuffed into an urn duo. They run away in fright, calling him successor of an assassination clan. Kim wonders what the hell that was about, and Kishimoto wonders why they think that he is from an assassination clan. And why did he glare at the guys like that? Doesn't he want to become friends? While they go over his behavior, he finally arrives and Aura farms in front of all the footballers. The footballers mistake him for the delinquent's boss, and if he's here to get revenge, the coach tells Shorty to get aside and let the big boys talk. He walks up to Kim. Even though he's heard nasty rumors about the guy he wants to judge for himself, Kim doesn't seem like the guy who cleans up after small thugs. With that physique, he's already a national-level powerhouse. As he walks in front of Kim, he introduces himself as the captain of the football club and asks why he is here. Kim, who towers over the coach by 1.5 feet, asks if he can try out. Even though the height difference is not that much, the coach feels like a total dwarf and loser. His muscles are so huge that his clothes are stretched more than Bonnie Blue's peaches. If he really wants to join the football club, their team making it to the national championship would be a side quest. Kim asks if the dude is okay. He spaced out for a good 10 minutes. The coach apologizes and walks him through the entrance exam. Pretty straightforward. Kick the ball in the goal as hard as he can. One shot and he needs to make it count. Our boy concentrates, channeling his inner Holland. He blazes his aura and is about to go all out. His coughs double in size because he's been squatting 300 kg for the past 3 years. He puts everything in the ball. The air vibrates with power. A sonic boom is heard everywhere, but surprisingly, the goalpost is empty. Everyone turns and starts sweating bullets because our boy just punctured the ball with a single kick. Kim just sighs. Looks like soccer isn't going to work. He decides to move to the basketball club, leaving the coach questioning his eyes. Everyone is talking about how Kim is crushing all the sports clubs one after another. And a beauty with a sword wonders if Kim is finally making his move. Our boy is the center of attention after he's got the physique of a Greek god. Looks like his dream about getting unnoticed won't be fulfilled. Next up is basketball club. And of course our boy goes for a slam dunk, shocks everyone's pants off, and breaks the basket at the same time. LeBron James got nothing on our boy. Next up is baseball club, and of course he turns the baseball into a meteorite, shooting it straight into the stratosphere. Next up is the tennis club, and of course he breaks the racket, the pavement, and his opponent's dreams and aspirations in a single strike. Yoshimoto takes all of the clubs they've been through, and Kim asks if there's any more he can try out. She just laughs and puts on her glasses, turning full-on secretary mode. Our boy is still unfazed by her charm as she goes on about what clubs he has picked off. Next up is the track club, where he can run around the track, or the swimming club for full-on watery fun. Or lastly, the kendo club, where he can use his sword to bonk anyone in a 10-mile radius. The 3 sports clubs are available for him to enroll. She takes off her glasses and asks if the explanation was perfect. Kim just wonders why he's being so extra, and where she even got those glasses from. Kishimoto asks where they are going. She'll guide her where he wants, true golden retriever energy. Kim asks if she's been taking acting classes on top of modeling. That makes her blush. Kim points out she's got a knack for acting, and maybe she should give it a whirl. She starts acting strange, strutting that she feels embarrassed talking about it. But she used to do something similar to acting, and his mind immediately dives into the gutter. Why is she embarrassed about doing something just like acting? Has she tried out selling fans only, but he tries to clear his mind that Kishimoto isn't the type of gal to do something like that, to indulge in that fatherless behavior. And as a main character of the story, she can't have a past like that. He wonders if he should just ask, but she wraps her arm around him, eagerly trying to change the subject and visit the 3 clubs that are left. Kim decides to drop it for today and head to the kendo club first. She excitedly shows him the way. The students standing around the kendo club freeze in horror as they look at Kim making his way to the front. They're gossiping about how he wrecked all the sports clubs, and he's trying to take over the school. The girls are even arguing about who should interview him. Kishimoto introduces herself as his manager, and if they want an interview, they should talk to her. The door slowly swings open, and a mysterious figure calls him a third-rate delinquent who's using sports clubs as an excuse to take over the school and beat others up. She refuses to let him do as he pleases anymore, pointing her bamboo sword at his face. This is Fuma, third-year kendo club president. Everyone is cheering for Fuma for standing up to the big scary high schooler, but Kim reminds her he's not here for trouble, just to try out. Fuma is surprised that a muscle-bound gorilla wants to swing a sword. They'll decide with a 1-point match, The first one who lands a valid strike wins. She'll be his opponent and he needs to step into the training hall. Everyone is surprised that the walking human calamity is going to face off against the sword princess. They're even ready to bet money on who's going to win. Kishimoto pipes up that he's being treated like a villain, but he doesn't care. Fuma tells everyone to shut their gap hole. This is a one-on-one duel between two students, and anyone who enters the dojo is going to get folded like a lawn chair personally. Damn, now I'll have to step into their dojo. But all the other students are scared. They realize that Fuma is the real deal, like a serpent trying to tighten around its prey. Kim decides to follow Fuma into the back rooms. Fuma stands with her feet planted apart and a bamboo sword between her legs, asking if he's ready and whether he has any protective gear and a bamboo sword. Kim just replies that he's got a bamboo sword between his pants, but he'll still get another one, and since no protection fits him, he'll just go like that. Fuma comments that he's really big. No wonder they can't find any protection for his size. A Yue pause. She decides they won't use protection this time. Kim picks up his bamboo sword, telling Fuma not to blame him if she gets hurt. She smirks, bold for a muscle-bound boulder. Do you think she'll get hurt? She promises not to let him touch a single strand of hair on her head. The entire room echoes with the clank of bamboo swords. Fuma puts her entire weight behind that strike and our boy parries it effortlessly. She's making all those fancy moves while Kim is just standing his ground and swatting her away like an annoying fly. Fuma still thinks of Kim as an NPC who just worked out a bit. He won't win against a trained martial artist. She swings her sword again, but our boy dodges it in the nick of time. She glances and recognizes an opening and swings her bamboo sword at his hand, disarming him and sending his sword flying through the air. Kim is surprised and Fuma zooms towards him with the same confidence I had on getting a job after I completed my arts degree. She zooms forward, sword in hand, eyes burning with determination, but the moment she looks at the hulking high schooler laughing scarily, she freezes and jumps away while Kim grabs his sword midair. Fuma is shaken by his battle spirit. Was he trying to lure her just to regrip his sword? Meanwhile, Kim is not sure why she backed off when she was about to win. Fuma decides to use her secret move against this super soldier serum reject. She decides to finish the fight with the next strike, with her evil slashing slash, a really creative name. She zooms forward, telling Kim that it's over. A loud boom echoes through the dojo. That's the secret technique of the Fuma clan. She smiles confidently, but in the next moment, the tip of a bamboo sword shoots towards her face, hits her squarely in the chin and discombobulates her. She can't even register what kind of attack it was, a hidden weapon or something. As she's falling, she notices her sword split in half and realizes what happened. Turns out his rock-hard abs acted like muscle armor, and when she attacked, her sword was split in half and half of it rebounded and hit her in the face, an embarrassing end for a sword goddess. The next day, the class is full of rumors about Kim's victory over the kendo club, and the captain has been hospitalized. They're talking about how Kim has taken over the school and become number one. Kim realizes that the rumors are spreading faster than my ex's legs when she looks at a bad boy. Kim just hopes he doesn't screw up the main timeline. At least Ryuji is acting the same way despite what's going on in the school. Our boy is still delusional that he's not the main character in this verse. That's when a red-haired hottie barges into the room, calling out Ryuji. Everyone wonders who this sassy lost child is. Turns out she is Tojo Karen from the kendo club. Ryuji asks why she is looking for him. Karen, being true to her name, gabs about how he messed with some of their freshmen. She visited them in the hospital and heard everything. Ryuji says it's a misunderstanding, but Karen is not in the mood to hear excuses or reasoning. Yaguchi pushes herself between the two, yelling at Karen that her freshmen were in the wrong. Some kendo students tried to force her into an alley, and that's when Ryuji stepped in and saved her. Does she really think that Ryuji is at fault? She scoffs, telling Karen to go discipline her freshmen. Karen is surprised that it's not Ryuji's fault, and all of a sudden she tells Ryuji that if that's the case, then he needs to be her man. She promises to make him the happiest man alive. Yaguchi can't believe that she switched from hostility to breedability so soon. Yaguchi yells at this homewrecker to get away from her man, and Kim is surprised by the quick confession. The war between females has started, and Kishimoto looks at Karen, thinking that she is cool as hell. Everyone is gathered around, wondering who Ryuji will choose. First up is Yaguchi, a gentle face and marshmallows bigger than some people's heads, and a skirt shorter than my attention span. Then the next thing is the tomboyish Karen with red hair and the protective instincts of a mommy. Kim can't believe everyone is buzzing about Ryuji's love life. If only they could put all this effort into getting girlfriends, they wouldn't be talking about Ryuji's love life. But he has to admit Karen's sudden confession was interesting. Kishimoto asks who he thinks he will end up with. It doesn't spill the beans, there is the childhood friend. Kishimoto thinks that Ryuji is going to date Karen. But for that to happen, she needs to give Karen her relationship advice. Kim is surprised at her confidence in her counseling skills. She thinks of herself as an expert in relationship advice. Kim walks into the classroom and looks at Karen sitting at the window. He asks a fellow student what this girl is doing in their classroom. Looks like she's been hounding Ryuji to hang out this weekend, to treat him to a meal as an apology. There is also a rumor that she is the daughter of someone really powerful. Her dad is basically a Yakuza boss. Kim is not impressed. Ryuji tells his friend off for treating her differently even though she hasn't done anything. His classmate is surprised and wants to call him boss man for how open-minded he is. Kim tells him that's gay and starts thinking about rom-com manga. He should stay away from Karen. Karen immediately sits up and walks up to Ryuji, asking if he is free this weekend. She is trying to get his attention while Yuguchi keeps on interfering. They are fighting while everyone is simping for Karen, cursing Ryuji. The next day, Karen comes up to the classroom and asks Ryuji again, pulls up to the gym locker room and asks him again, pulls up to the boys' bathroom while he is on a urinal and asks him again. Bro really has the determination of a Tibetan monk. Meanwhile, Kishimoto is asking Kim if he has plans for this golden weekend. Kim is just thinking about helping out at the restaurant, but Kishimoto invites him over to her place. She's got a ton of manga there and he can check them out. Her father's collection is so huge it's basically a manga library in itself. With the promise of manga and snacks, Kim decides to visit her place. He also notices how thin she is even though she eats more than a normal person. Kishimoto reveals she gets a big lunch so she doesn't need to snack later. And besides, everything she eats goes to her godly marshmallows, while our boy is trying to analyze. But that's true, and if her marshmallows got bigger when she started eating, she calls him a pervert. He fell right in her trap and she just laughs. All of a sudden, Karen sits next to Kishimoto, and that's what she's been waiting for her entire life. They introduce themselves, asking if she wants some relationship advice. Karen remembers hearing that she's an expert at relationship advice, and that's why she wants to know if she has any short way of reaching out. Later on his way back home, Kim wonders why Kishimoto is having so much fun with Karen. They've decided to settle after school and have some boy talk. He decides to put that drama away for now and focus on the one thing he's good at, pumping iron. He pulls up to his gym, but as soon as he opens the door, he notices that the atmosphere is kind of different. Everyone is working like crazy, as if trying to beat their PRs. He wonders if something happened. That's when a familiar voice calls out to him. He turns to see Fuma looking like an absolute treat in her gym clothes. Just what is this girl doing in an all-men's gym? Kim introduces himself again, and Fuma softly wonders if club activities weren't enough of a workout that he had to come to this gym as well. Kim smiles awkwardly and realizes everyone is pumping iron and trying to show off in front of Fuma, but it's understandable. She's every gym bro's crush and a stunning beauty. Kim asks if she lives here. Fuma just moved here recently. The director of the program walks up to everyone. The director clearly belongs to the old but strong and still can whoop your ass type of troop. He tells Kim to show Fuma the ropes, and since they are schoolmates, it will probably be better for Kim to train her instead of an old man like him. Not only is the director a buff old guy, but he is also the ultimate wingman, telling Kim she is here because she likes him. They move on towards the squatting area, and once again, Grandpa will reveal why he is the ultimate wingman by telling Kim to go squat 220 kgs. Fuma is not sure if that's even humanly possible, but to our boy, that's a warm-up. The director calls him a monster, and our boy effortlessly squats 220 kgs, moving up to 270, and then to 300. The director just laughs, wondering if he is related to Yujiro Hanma. Fuma is also surprised and has to admit that his physique isn't that of a high schooler. He is a literal monster, and maybe has a legendary body she has heard about, Extreme Yang Physique. It is a constitution with the power of 100 men. Legend had it that great heroes of history, Hercules, Archelaus, Chuck Norris, and Andrew Tate, possessed the Extreme Yang Physique. And maybe that's why she lost to him even though he had no combat experience. She decides to report it to some mysterious person. Later, Kim and Kishimoto arrive at Karen's place. All the Yakuza members are bowing to her. He didn't think that she actually belonged to a Yakuza family, but that's Ezekai for you. One of the thugs looks at him and immediately feels threatened, yelling that everyone needs to draw their weapons. He must be a competitor spy or something. Karen tells them to cool their jets. He is just a high schooler with an addiction to bicep curls. She apologizes for the man being out of line. Kim doesn't care. The girls are ready to have a bake-off. After all, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Karen, who has never cooked before, looks at the onion in her hand as if it is about to sprout legs and run away. Love Guru Kishimoto tells the Yakuza to run away. Kishimoto tells Karen to get ready. It's almost an hour, and she is finally done with a stunning-looking bento box. Turns out Kishimoto had been coaching her like Gordon Ramsay, scolding her for keeping the heat high, reprimanding her for burning the steak into a toxic sludge. Smelling all this food has made Kishimoto hungry, and Kim wonders if he should whip up something for the girls. He merely goes for a stir-fry. As soon as the girls eat, they are blushing like crazy and wondering, since when was he good at cooking? Kim reveals that he started making his own bento boxes when he saw his mom wake up at the crack of dawn and make his lunch. He was clumsy at first, but eventually got the hang of it. Kishimoto is once again moved to tears. A good son helping his hard-working mother. He is the perfect husband material. He is smart, he is kind, he is an otaku, and he is a jock and a muscle-bound anomaly that can cook as well. Bro is rarer than an arts graduate with a job and a stable income. She then hands Karen a gift. She went to the cosmetic store and bought everything she'll need. It's time for a makeover. They'll even go clothes shopping together. She wonders if all of this is important. Kishimoto tells her that boys aren't into tomboy or old man clothing nowadays. Kim just laughs awkwardly and they waltz away ready to get her on with her transformation. Night falls. Kim walks Kishimoto home, and on the way they stop by a convenience store to pick up this week's manga. Our boy picks up Two Piece, Adventures of Fluffy as a Marine Soldier. While they're talking about their mutual love for manga, Kim tells Kishimoto that she really is a good person, making her blush. She spent the whole day for Karen's sake, so she really is a good person. She starts blushing redder and redder until she runs away. And our boy, being as thick as a slab of ham, mistakes that for a sudden nature's call. The next day, everyone freezes when they look at Karen and her new transformation. Straight from hooligan tomboy to homecoming queen. She walks up to class 2 and hands her invitation letter to Ryuji, but Ryuji can't even recognize who he's looking at. Back in Shibuya, the girls are having a blast with their makeover session. They're also glad Karen went through with the confession. They even start calling each other on first-name basis, while Kim wonders why he has to tag along. A little while ago, Kishimoto had asked him to pick the outfit out, and he had picked a cute outfit for her to try out. She was shoved into a changing room by Kishimoto, and even though she protested, cuteness wasn't her go-to style. Kishimoto insisted that she needed to do it to win Ryuji over. She finally stepped out in a cute maid dress, thinking that the shirt and skirt were way too short. Both of them complimented Karen, and she blushed nervously. Back at the mansion, the Yakuza boss is standing with his delinquents. The chairman and Karen's daddy is known as the Bloodbath Tycoon. He is currently furious that his baby girl has found a boy she likes. The other thugs are also equally furious. Just what kind of worthless punk is she hanging out with? Chairman yells that he is not going to give his daughter away to anyone. He tells his top man to find out who that boy is. 13. The newsfeed runs a video of Ryuji, a private academy student. Because of him, his daughter is visiting hair salons, buying dresses, and doing things she never did. 14. The chairman deduces she is planning a date with Ryuji this weekend. He is so furious he is about to chop that little booger's little weenie off. His fellow criminals tell their chairman to cool his jets. He tells everyone who is free and not on a mission this weekend to help him shadow Karen on her date, and if that little kid tries to make a move, he will end up missing a very important part of him. That's how the chairman of the organization, with 8 top executives, has decided to shadow her. Meanwhile, Kishimoto and the gang are in a burger joint. While Kishimoto is having a burger, Karen asks if they are tired from the shopping spree. Kishimoto is glad that they could do it together. She had a great time shopping. Karen then asks Kim if he wants more burgers or something. A guy his size really needs to eat. He should feel free because it's on her. He tells her it's fine. He had a big lunch and he likes rice better than bread. No use in filling up with carbs. She still insists on getting him more food. That's the least she can do to help him. She's surprised to see that she's not a total delinquent and a tomboy but actually a thoughtful girl. It looks like the book can't be judged by its cover. It bleeds. Karen is flustered that he keeps staring at her and asks if there's something on her face. He agrees, saying it's ketchup. She quickly wipes her face and he laughs, telling her it's a joke. They ask about her plan. She's planned a movie, a dinner, and the usual stuff for the date. But Kishimoto yells that's too basic. What she needs to do is stand out from the crowd and go to an aquarium. There's the perfect date spot with the sun shining through the waves and the fish and coral reef dancing around and creating an air of romance. While they're talking about their romantic plan, Kim wonders why the love guru is trying to strike again. Later, Kim and Kishimoto look at Karen like proud parents, telling her to do her best tomorrow. She promises and tells them to get home safe. Kishimoto immediately hounds Kim that they should shadow Karen to make sure that she doesn't fumble. After all, they're comrades in love and arms. They should ensure Karen makes it through. Everything's decided, and only God knows how that date will turn out with a group of gangsters, a muscle-headed anomaly, and a girl with a golden retriever persona trailing them. From a few feet away, later everyone is turning their heads as the chairman is walking around in disguise. Well, let's be real. That disguise and this plan are just an excuse to rock that badass wig. He's ready to witness his daughter's first date. Ryuji pulls up, greets Karen, and asks how long she's been waiting. She tells him not long and they should get going. They look at each other and start blushing. Ryuji compliments her threads and they finally get this show on the road. First, they'll grab tea and plan the rest of the day. Meanwhile, Kim and Kishimoto are standing a few feet away, looking at her while disguised as perverts. Their They're running around the block trying to keep up with the couple, and the chairman and the gang are doing that as well. The chairman, on the other hand, wants to run the fade for making her daughter wait 5 minutes. Executive 1 tells the chairman not to worry. If he keeps on crashing out, they're going to be reported. To avoid suspicion, he wants them to separate into 4 teams. The chairman agrees and tells them to split. Meanwhile, in the cafe, Kishimoto orders a parfait and takes a picture of it for the gram. Kim is more worried about whether she can finish the sweet treat all by herself. It's kind of huge. They notice something's off about the place. There's suspicious characters all around. Kim realizes that they must be related to Karen, especially the guy with the red locks. Meanwhile, Karen tells him that they should go see dolphins in the aquarium. She smiles, ready to have a fun-filled day, unaware that their date is being broadcast to a whole channel of war criminals and an overly friendly blonde girl. As the train is leaving, both of the couple are forced to squish together. Kishimoto is also standing a few feet away from Kim's locks. She starts overthinking about being so close to Kim, but it can't be helped since it's a crowded train. Kim tells her to bear with him for a while. As soon as the door opens, everyone rushes out. Kim grabs her hand and drags her away after Karen. They finally made it out, and Kishimoto gently tells Kim to let go of her hand. He immediately lets go, and she gently tells him to be gentle next time. Kim is surprised more as to why there would be a next time, but they miss the light to cross the road. They are about to head to the aquarium, and 2 gangsters also wonder who these people are. While they are going over their strategy, Kim quickly slips away. The chairman still notices him. Executive 1 tells the chairman that they are Karen's friends, and they also help each other. The gangsters mistake Kim for a hitman from another family. They must be worried about their friend, and he is glad that Karen found good people, but they have lost her. Meanwhile, they are finally at the aquarium and run into 2 delinquents. They recognize Ryuji immediately, the guy who got them expelled from the kendo club, and now enjoying a date with another girl. They vow to make him pay. While the couple is busy having fun, the weird duo is looking at them from a distance. Kim wonders if the date is going well. It is going better than he expected, and he is glad. Later, Kim treats Kishimoto to another serving of homemade sushi rolls. She looks at the bento, and her mouth immediately overflows. He put a lot of elbow grease into making this so they could have the energy to shadow them properly. Kishimoto takes a bite, and they are a few feet away from Ryuji and the picnic basket they are on. Kishimoto notices Karen is kind of nervous. Kim agrees. After all, it is the first time she is cooking for someone. She even asked Kishimoto what to make last night and put a lot of effort into it, and it shows. A beautiful bento box full of decorative food is presented in front of Ryuji. She takes a bite and she holds her breath, waiting for the verdict. He finally tells her it is amazing, and she exhales, telling him to try the tempura. He takes a bite and enjoys every chew. As he is fed by his strong girl Batty, Kim keeps his eyes glued on them. Kishimoto points out that the 2 are doing well. Kishimoto even says that she wants to go on a date like this someday. Kim freezes. She has been calling herself the love guru this whole time, even though she has never been on a date. She just laughs, pulling up some bullfish about the coach never playing the game. All of this was showing off knowledge from manga and rom-coms. Later, the couple goes on a stroll, and that's when trouble strikes. Ugly 1 and Ugly 2 walk up to Ryuji, asking if he recognizes them. For a 2-timing bastard, he really is slick. Everyone gets a surprise as Ugly 2 yells at Ryuji for saving the girl they worked so hard to get. Kim wonders if he should call the priest or step in himself. Ryuji puts on a brave front, and the guys ask if he's planning on hitting them again. These are the first-year freshmen who got kicked out of the kendo club. The guys are pissed that they were expelled from the club just because they thought that consent was a myth. They'll never get to see Fuma-senpai's amazing figure again. Understandable, crash-out Karen calls them idiots. That attitude shows why they were expelled in the first place. They recognize Karen and wonder why she's so dolled up for someone who beats up people into the dirt. This doesn't suit her. Ryuji yells, "That's enough." These 2 idiots don't even know that the girl they're bad-mouthing is the daughter of a gangster. Soon it's revealed why they're acting so tough. A bigger and uglier guy backs them up, ready to beat Ryuji to a pulp. Ryuji tells Karen to get away and run and leave it to him, but Karen refuses. How can she leave him in a place like this? Big Bro grabs Karen and tells her to have fun with him instead. Ryuji rushes in and tries to punch the bastard, only to get socked in the gut. Kim realizes things are turning south, he'll have to step in. Meanwhile, Ryuji is on the ground, barfing non-stop. Big Bro is still acting tough, not knowing that he just summoned Star Platinum behind him. He turns to see the god grab his hand and make him scream like a little girl. Big Bro tells him to keep his filthy hands to himself. Kim looks like he's going to educate them in 3 different dialects of violence. He tells the bastards to get their filthy hands off his friend. Big Bro looks like he needs a new pair of pants. Where the hell did Hulk from Temu arrive? He calls Kim a coward. Just because he's built different means he can do whatever he wants. But right now, Kim is not in the mood for philosophies, just for a little skull crushing. Even Big Bro wonders what did he do to build a physique like that. Bench press Mjolnir. He tries to calm himself. It was only a sneak attack. He's just a big goofball with muscles and no moves. The cartel, on the other hand, asks the chairman if they should move in, but the chairman stops them. A few minutes ago, Executive 1 asked him if they should intervene. The kids were getting in trouble with a pair of delinquents, while the chairman was off to the army with his red hair blowing in the wind. The executives were losing their minds about Karen being manhandled. The chairman decided there was no need to intervene once Kim set foot in the scuffle. One look at Kim made the chairman lose his confidence and almost his sphincter control. The overwhelming aura is something he felt only from two people. One Yujiro Hanma and the other boss of the Russian Red Mafia, Ivan the God of Destruction. It is the same feeling he's getting from Kim. When he got in a one-on-one match with the old gangster, a wave of terror washed over him. Just how can a nobody have the same kind of presence that makes the chairman want Kim by his side even more? Meanwhile, Kim is losing his mind to his rage. Screw the storyline, screw the original plot, and screw these busters. He decides to stop caring from now on and take things into his own hands. When trash starts getting too loud, he tells Ryuji and Karen to get out of here. Karen, with tearful eyes, asks if he's going to be okay. Big Bro yells at him for ignoring him. He unleashes a flurry of punches and his fellows for a moment believe that Kim's going to go down. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Big Bro smiles, telling him he doesn't even have time to dodge. But what he doesn't know is he should change his name from Big Bro to Pillow Hands, because he just gave Kim the best goddamn massage of his life. He took the hits and didn't even flinch. Big Bro tries to use Gomu no Gear 2, and the blazing hot fist hits Kim squarely in the jaw. Kishimoto holds her breath. Karen yells in worry, and Ryuji is still dazed. That punch did manage to tickle Kim and draw some blood, but Kim just laughs. Now whatever happens from here on out is self-defense. Big Bro can only see a fist a few inches from his face before his world goes blank. Our kind-hearted boy gives him a free smile makeover and plastic surgery. Usually the legal limit for self-defense is one hit, and that's why our boy finished it in one punch. The other delinquents try to wake up Big Bro, but Big Bro won't be waking up until next spring. They scream like little girls when they look at Kim, blood trickling from his forehead and threats echoing from his mouth. They start throwing "my daddy is in the police" and "my daddy is in the government" cards in front of Kim. But he doesn't care who their daddies are. Right now, he's their daddy. He grabs their heads, picks them up, and gets ready to discipline the ever-loving light out of them. Kim sets them down after a thorough beating, and they quickly pick up Big Bro and run away. Kishimoto rushes towards him, asking if he's alright. His forehead's bleeding. Since our boy's skull is empty anyway, it doesn't hurt. He even reasons a little spit should fix it up. Kishimoto yells that they need to get to a pharmacy. He's never seen her so angry before. Later, they see Karen and Ryuji sitting on a bench. Things are kind of awkward. Karen apologizes for getting him hurt, but Ryuji tells her it's fine. They got in the situation because of him. She finally musters up the courage to confess to him. Ryuji pauses. The world pauses. Kim and Kishimoto hold their breath. Karen asks if they can go out. Will he really finally change the story plot and go out with this lovely young lady? Or will the childhood roots still prevail? Only time will tell. Tears pool around her eyes. "Please," she whispers. Ryuji feels conflicted and finally gives her an answer that he's sorry. He's sorry he can't give her the type of answer she's looking for. She promises to change herself and be whatever he wants, but it's not that. Ryuji explains that she's too good for someone like him. Damn right she is, but he's got his own special circumstances. Thing is, he promised a girl he would marry her when he was little, and until they meet, he doesn't plan on dating anyone. He's rejecting Karen over a woman he's yet to find. That's not a knight in shining armor, but a hound. Karen feels her whole world crumble around her. Ryuji smiles apologetically. "Do you really love her that much?" she whispers. He's not even sure if he loves her that much. He just remembers liking her a lot, and the day she moved away was the day he cried the most. Karen realizes she was his first love. She understands, packs her bags, and decides to go away without making a scene. Ryuji just smiles apologetically as Karen runs away. Kishimoto feels horrible. Kim tells Kishimoto to go ahead. He'll go after Karen and they'll meet later. Kishimoto sighs and wonders what's up with him. Why is he so sad? Meanwhile, Karen is sitting on a bench, replaying her rejection over and over again, the tears in her eyes. She looks at Kim, who wipes them away and even helps her blow her nose. He tries to calm her, but it's too embarrassing because she's never cried in front of anyone. Kim tells her it's fine, they're friends after all. Turns out Karen already knew that they were tailing her, and maybe that's because they didn't trust her or something. Kim starts sweating more than a fat guy going from his seat to the buffet table. People tailing others in rom-coms were not supposed to get caught, so why did this happen? Karen just smiles, thanking them for coaching her and apologizing for still failing. She thought she could change herself and win Ryuji's heart, but guess she was wrong. His heart was already a stone wall that she tried to squeeze into. It hurts as hell, and there's nothing she can do about it. Kim feels horrible as he hears that she really loved him. "I feel you, little redhead. The girl I liked also liked a guy that was better than me. Kim feels strange. He really thought of her like another side character NPC, but as he's coming to know them, his worldview is shifting. Kishimoto was just a polite smile, but now that he's known her, she's much more to him. They were characters in the manga, but now they're real people, hurting, living, and smiling. He gets up and tells Karen that if she lies around here and keeps on crying, someone will call the cops on her. She bursts out laughing. That joke really worked. She then starts taking off his shirt, revealing his rock-hard abs. He gives her the sweatshirt, puts it on her, and tells her they're going to go to a karaoke bar, and she'll scream everything she's got to say. Karen, who looks like a toddler in his sweatshirt, tells him to wait up. They run towards the karaoke bar. Karen's spirits once again are as high as her hopes and dreams. The Yakuza, who witness this all, are moved to tears and call Kim one in a million. Even the chairman smiles, glad that his daughter has a friend like him and hopes that they can cross paths someday. Later, Karen screams into the karaoke machine all night long. Kishimoto's eyes sparkle as she looks at our boy's room, and that's got better equipment than Planet Fitness. It's filled with barbells, kettlebells, and dumbbells. She wonders if all guys keep workout machines in the room. Not all guys, little sis, only those that look like they've worked in construction sites for 50 years like our boy. She notices a dumbbell and cutely tries to pick it up, but it won't even budge. Kim tells her that that's his warm-up dumbbell, and it's half her weight, so of course. But how did he end up with a girl in his room? It started when he was walking to the subway after school. All of a sudden, Kishimoto felt her stomach growl. He offered to swing by his family restaurant. After all, a single meal shouldn't put him behind, or so he thought, because she ate right after the training session and finished off with cola. She complimented Kim's mom on her amazing cooking, and Kim's mom told her to eat as much as she wants. She'll even make more if she wants. Kim is surprised that his mom has taken a liking to her. Kishimoto pats his shoulder, telling him it's time. Our boy sputters, wondering what the hell she is talking about. She laughs, saying there is time to go to his room. Is our boy finally going to find someone worthy of handling his Mjolnir? But turns out she wasn't interested in his hammer, just in his room. He brings iced tea for her, and she's already reading his manga. He bought a thick stack of rom-coms for research purposes. It wasn't the original manga, but he still wanted to get a handle on how rom-coms work. She always thought that he liked shonen and didn't know that he was into this stuff. She spots a novel series called Golden Samurai. It's his all-time favorite. He hands her his hardcover limited copy. This manga piece is a masterpiece. Gorgeous art, breathtaking story, amazing character development. Kishimoto looks like she's about to cry from joy. She has never met someone who loves it as much as her father. Kim wonders why a grown man likes manga. Turns out her father is a famous manga artist and author, and the creator of Golden Samurai. Kim looks like he's about to pass out. No way is her dad Kishimoto Musashi, a famous mangaka. He realizes the same name and the blonde hair. He went to her house over Golden Yui, and it was right there. He could have met his idol. Kim asks her for an autograph from her father. She promises to introduce him once he comes over to her place. He is definitely going now. He's also confused. Even though her father has a ton of other hit manga, why does she like Golden Samurai the most? She thinks for a moment. She indeed likes his other works, but Golden Samurai really resonates with her. No special reason, it's because the protagonist is blonde like her, and he always puts his friends over himself. Kim reminded her of Golden Samurai when he confronted those delinquents and put an end to Big Bro's reign of terror. He's strong and gentle at the same time. She smiles and looks like her heartstrings are turning in a different direction. The next day at school, the student council is going over meetings, and Kumiko reminds Kim he was supposed to help during Golden Week. She needs to welcome an exchange student from Russia and needs to pick out a memorable gift. She wants his help. She smiles because the poor girl thinks this is going to bring her closer to Kim. Kim agrees. He's about to commit to the 29th of the break. Kumiko's eyes sparkle, so much more than my eyes did when my dad told me that I'd be getting a car, only to give me a Hot Wheels. Kim has decided to help her as long as it doesn't interfere with his plan to meet with his favorite mangaka. So she tells Kim not to break the promise, or she won't forgive him. She's in a wonderful mood, and Kim decides to ask Kishimoto to move their meeting to the 30th. A month later, his buddy asks if he knows what's happening around the two troublemakers that were expelled from the kendo club. They have been kicked out, and they have put in a transfer request. They were transferring at once, and he wonders what happened. Our boy just laughs. No one knows that he's single-handedly responsible for instilling the fear of God in their hearts and making them transfer schools. He's glad that they learned their lesson and will never harass others again. As soon as class starts, a sing-song voice wonders why everyone's late on the first class of the week. A beautiful teacher tells everyone to take their seats and open their English textbooks. For a sensei like her, I would open up my red page. Kim quickly wakes up Kishimoto, who is probably having sussy dreams about him. The new teacher is Mizuki, a 24-year-old who asks Kim's friend to read a passage in English. Kim's friend looks like he's been hit with the worst curse in history, but when the teacher switches her mind and asks Kim to read, he smiles with relief. Kim gets up, reading the passage in perfect English to everyone's surprise. Even Mizuki is a little shaken. She probably wanted to embarrass him for being a musclehead. Poor girl doesn't know that Kim is a jack of all trades and master of everyone. She even tries to ask a harder question, but Kim, while stroking his chin, replies in perfect English to everyone's surprise. Sensei looks like she's seen a ghost and tells everyone to sit down. There was a good answer. Kishimoto didn't realize that her friend's English was so good, but his replies have completely thrown the sensei off her game. She starts stuttering, avoiding eye contact and writing on the board. Kim realizes what's up. Sensei is probably scared of him. Later, as he's walking down the hallway and everyone's commenting about his size and how scary he is, he wonders who started the rumor about him being a yakuza or beating a biker gang 50-1. This is the first time he's seen a grown adult terrified of him. He tries to act normal so that he doesn't cause any more misunderstandings. Meanwhile, Mizuki is typing furiously on her keyboard. She's pulled up everything she could find on Kim, and to her surprise, he's a perfect scholarship student who hasn't missed a day of class, is in a high position in the student council, and whatnot. She was sure to find a criminal record, at least. She even comes up with a wild theory that Kim must have gone through elite training at a yakuza center and is trying to act like a good student to deceive her. She feels an ominous aura around her office. With the face the bro is making, he's definitely not beating the yakuza allegations. As soon as she looks at Kim, she quickly switches her desktop off. Probably faster than when I tried to turn my computer off while looking at a saucy video when my dad walked in and beat my ass. She even stutters that she wasn't digging into his background or anything. He never said he did. She looks at his cold stone poker face and realizes her life is over. The yakuza is probably going to take her away. But turns out our boy, being ever the goody-shoes gentleman, is here for a career counseling session. The only career bro is suitable for is God of Destruction or Robin for absolute Batman. The teacher laughs and tells him to take a seat. What are his plans for the future? Kim is not sure. He's been thinking about taking over the family business. That's when Mizuki's mind starts racing again. Is he going to be a yakuza member? Enough with the yakuza bullfish. Our boy couldn't hurt a fly, but she imagines him with bling and scars all over. She politely asks. He replies it's a small restaurant. That surprises her, and she wants to visit it sometime. The misunderstanding is finally over. She then asks what his best subjects are. There's math and science. She wonders if she wants to go into engineering or something. But Kim doesn't want to choose a career that is based on a subject he's good at right now. He wants to do something that he would actually enjoy. In his previous life, he went to the University of Waterloo as an engineering student. That PTSD made him realize he's never going back. The professor relates that she also didn't want to be a teacher. Back in the day, she wanted to be a voice actress and really loved a character from a robot manga. During a counseling session, she said she wanted to be a voice actor, only for her teacher to brutally crush her dreams. By telling her hobbies can't put food on the table, she should have a stable job to get a stable career. I should have listened to that advice before getting the arts degree. But Mizuki blames her teacher for stopping her from making it big as a voice actress. She's thought about it over and over again and tells Kim that he can do whatever he sets his heart to. And as her teacher, she'll definitely support him. He thanks her for the advice and leaves. A male teacher, green with envy, asks if he skims from the rumors of yakuza hair. He even starts going about the biker rumor. Mizuki has had enough of those baseless rumors because Kim is a thoughtful student and she won't judge anyone by their appearance anymore. The professor just laughs apologetically, and she just smiles. Golden League finally arrives, and in front of Shine, Kim is waiting for his date. Kumiko finally arrives and yells at him for being late. Does he have any idea what time it is? Judging from our boy's lack of brain cells, it's a miracle he didn't say it's adventure time. He tells Kumiko that it's still 10 minutes early, then they meet up. Kumiko looks like she is going to yell and cry at the same time. When he is out on a date with a lady, he should at least be 30 minutes early. He apologizes and wonders if they should have just met 30 minutes earlier. Kimiko decides to let it slide, and as an apology, he's got to buy her some green tea ice cream. He didn't realize that that was a rule and wonders why. One bruise on the head later, he goes to the stall and buys her ice cream. While they are slurping ice cream, he's glad that they can walk aimlessly, but they should get to the gift. Kimiko is completely forgotten. She quickly hurries along, and a Kleipia priest tells her that there is a craft shop a few blocks away. Maybe they can choose a gift over there. Shorty has men in black feeding her dating advice from a black van. Both the Akagi siblings are working non-stop, trying to make her date successful. They visit a shrine and she starts going over Buddhist statues, but for a broke boy, the price is enough to make Kim have a seizure. The ear priest tells her to stop with the rich kid act. They are on a date and she is looking at expensive statues while Kim is bored out of his mind. And staring at his phone, so hard it's probably turned see-through. She quickly switches up her tactics, grabs his hand and zooms out of the shop, leaving the shopkeeper yelling that he'll give her a big discount. Kim's mouth is something's wrong, and she replies that she's just dizzy. Next up, they hit a traditional clothing shop looking for kimonos and yukatas, Japanese robes. The ear priest tells her to go ahead. She looks at a robe and Kim wonders if the exchange student would like it. Kim is not impressed. As a rich kid, she wants to see the finest items at the shop. The owner brings out a beautiful kimono worth 500,000 yen. That's probably more money Kim will see in his entire life. But for Kumiko, it's pocket change. They go over dresses one after another. The shopkeeper notices she's having a hard time deciding. So maybe she should try one out after all, it's a gift. Kumiko asks him what he thinks and Kim tells her to go ahead. She's escorted to the dressing room and the shop owner turns out to be Akagi. Turns out she used a silicone mask and her skills as their family shinobi to switch places with the owner and handle the shop. Telling her to try on the kimono was a wallowing man move. They're short on time, so she needs to get changed and look as beautiful as possible. After a bit of rumbling and rustling, our boy looks up from his phone and blushes furiously. Kumiko walks out looking like an absolute delight in her black and elegant robes. Our boy is so stunned he looks away shyly, but Kumiko takes it as rejection. She blindly blurts out that she looks beautiful and it suits her well. Kumiko tries to keep her cool, saying this is what happens when she's serious. She quickly rushes to the changing room and feels her heart ringing in her ears. She feels as if the butterflies are having a rigged MMA match in her stomach. Just what should she do? Kim escorts Kumiko out of the store, and everyone is stunned by how beautiful she looks. Now that they've picked out clothes and had lunch, it's time to head out. They're drawing too much attention, Kim being as muscular as a gorilla on steroids, and Kumiko being as beautiful as a cherry blossom in bloom. He also notices the Akagi scene blinks a few feet away, taking a selfie. In reality, they're spying on him. He almost got caught, and his sister tells Akagi that she needs to make a report, and they can't send sloppy pictures. Akagi is furious that Kim is a slippery guy and no way their lady likes him. They still don't want to show it in front of Kim. Kim finally comes up to a cafe. It's a regular ramen shop. He tells her to look at the menu while he makes a quick stop at the bathroom. Meanwhile, the Akagi siblings are suffering from the same dilemma. Akagi needs to use the bathroom. The ice cream isn't sitting well and he needs to go before it makes its way from one end to another. He apologizes and runs away to the bathroom. As soon as he's finally done, he comes face to face with Kim and yells his name. 10 minutes later, Kumiko looks at both her bodyguards being dragged out of the bathroom by Kim, who mistakes it as a coincidence and offers them to join him for lunch. With her dead ruined by her own task force, Kumiko has no choice but to smile through the pain. Everyone sits together while Akagi's sister apologizes for her idiot brother's bathroom run. Kumiko is not that bad, and the ramen is finally served. It's her first time having ramen. He's seen it on TV. Akagi's sister patiently tells her how to eat it. She tries it out and loves it. Kim is glad she likes it, and everyone orders more and eats to their heart's content. Later, Kumiko is trying to get a plushie that's on steroids from a claw machine. By now it's clear that she has a type. Anyone who calls the doll cute. Meanwhile, Akagi and Kim are having a match at a fighting game, where Akagi is sweeping the floor. Kim is furious. How dare he mock him? But Akagi keeps his cool, only to be defeated brutally in the next match. Kim laughs smugly, asking how he feels to fight against a grandmaster. Akagi challenges him to one more match. But forget arcades, they're men and shouldn't be playing with each other's joysticks and should settle things with a punching machine. Kim wonders if it's a good idea. Kuro looks like he's a stick figure under his clothes. Is it even fair? But Akagi unbuttons his shirt and reveals the ultimate sleeper build. A lean, mean punching machine with rock-hard halves. The girls wonder what the idiots are doing, but Kim is excited, and Akagi tells him not to disappoint him. He throws away his glasses and shows off his body once again. He tells Kim he didn't realize he was a loser who ran away from fights. Akagi smiles, taunting Kim for being a weakling. There one runs for a challenge. He sure watched closely how real men punch stuff. A single punch rocks the entire machine, hitting him with a score of 960. It would have been impressive if he were not standing next to the mountain that rides. Now it's Kim's turn. He wants the president to stop them, but she's also curious what will happen when he gives it his all. They will volunteer to pay for the machine if it breaks. He really wants them to stop this. But with no other way out, he finally cracks his knuckles. The score isn't even a problem. The problem is that the machine is going to disintegrate because of his serious one punch. He looks at the machine wondering if it feels fear, but now is the time to act. If it's going to break, he'll make sure it breaks cleanly, pouring his energy and concentration into his fist. He throws a jab that makes Agaki lose his confidence. The entire machine groans and fissures appear over the lower pedal, but the score is still point. The president and her attendant wonder if he's messing around. Why did his punch lack focus? In reality, he didn't aim well and hit the metal bar instead of the punching pad. At least they won't know how strong he really is. or so he thought as the machine came apart. Igaki nervously puts on his glasses, telling Kim they'll call it a day for today. But next time, he'll definitely crush Igaki. Kim decides to take some sticker photos to remember today. Everyone is excited, and they walk into a photo booth posing in silly props and costumes. Igaki and the president are glad they took the pictures. The president smiles generally for the first time in years, and Kim smiles in return. Maybe they should hit karaoke as they're lost off. But the karaoke bar, Igaki goes full-on rock metal, and Kumiko sings with the voice of an angel, soothing everyone. Kim joins in and they go for a duet. They're finally done with the day, and the president tells Kim to take care. She had a wonderful time. The Igaki siblings, on the other hand, are worrying out of their minds. They apologize to their ladyship for ruining her date and being carried away by the amount of fun they were having. Kumiko bursts out laughing, saying it's all right. She enjoyed it. For someone who comes from an elite background, today's outing was like a dream. Eating ice cream, having ramen, going shopping, and taking pictures. It's been a while since she's had this much fun. The last time was when they were kids. She thanks them for staying by her side and promises to be grateful to them. For today's core memory, the Igaki twins have moved to tears and vowed to follow her for the rest of their lives, and also to ensure her next date will be spectacular, a total success. Meanwhile, a mysterious man is drawing manga in a studio. Kishimoto calls the man Papa, telling him to remember her friend is going to visit tomorrow. She knows that he is a busy man, but she wants him to make time. The man just smiles, looking forward to the visit. To the friend she's been talking about non-stop for the past few days. This Kim kid, Kishimoto Sr., has joined the fray. And just how will the meeting between a legendary mangaka and a muscle-headed otaku go? On the second day of Golden Week, just as promised, Kim visits Kishimoto's house and sweats harder than a cave diver, deciding between his loving family and exploring a 2-centimeter hole called the Devil's Crack. He bows enthusiastically, telling Kishimoto Sr. that it's an honor. Kishimoto Sr. laughs, commenting how he looks like an old-school shonen protagonist, just like his daughter said. Kim still can't believe that this is the legendary mangaka who's brought countless words to creation with a stroke of his pen. The old guy tells him to come in. His wife went out with the spread she's cooked, and of course his daughter helped. The two blonde beauties are waiting for the men of the house, telling them to get it before it gets cold. The dishes are amazing. Ribeye steak, Italian pizza. He thanks them for the meal. Kishimoto Sr. comments how he wanted to see the guy his daughter keeps on talking about non-stop. After all, he wanted to see the guy who is really close to his daughter. Kim freezes, and the awkward atmosphere gets stifling. He tries to clear the air that they're only normal friends doing normal things, and he helped her out because she lost her way. Kishimoto Jr. yells that he's eating and she needs a father to be considerate. As a girl's dad, he tells them he's worried about a guy getting funny ideas about his beautiful daughter. Kim understands where he's coming from. He even imagines having a daughter just as cute as Kishimoto, and he would probably beat the loving snot out of any guy who tried to approach her. While in his daydream, he stares a minute too long at Kishimoto, and she blushes and looks away. Kishimoto Sr. smiles as his daughter yells at him for being weird. Kim calms down, and her mother reminds her husband she's grown up, and he needs to cool his jets. But he still remembers when she was younger, a little kid that called him Papa and promised to marry him when she grew up. And now her baby girl brought home a 300-pound muscle gorilla who's just a friend. The subject changes to Kishimoto Sr.'s work, and he offers to show him around his studio after dinner. That's like a dream come true for Kim. Right after dinner, he goes to the studio, and on his way back, smiles. He not only got to see his studio, but got an autograph as well. He's so happy he could die. She smiles, and they finally make their way towards her room. Her room's cute and filled to the brim with manga. Kim's really amazed by her collection, and as he starts fishing around the books, Kishimoto tells him not to touch anything. She'll be right back. He sits on the floor, pulls up his phone, and starts playing games to kill time. That's when Kishimoto's mother arrives. She asks our boy to call her Maria. Kim tries to get her, asking what brings her here. It turns out she's here to show off her daughter's dark past, her childhood album. Kim wonders if it's really okay for him to see it. He looks at her photos, and it turns out she used to be a cosplayer. Of course, a manga cos kid would inherit the cringe gene. Maria enthusiastically shows off her daughter's embarrassing past, so-called cringy cosplay as a goth girl. Kishimoto looks at the picture in horror, yelling at her mother and telling her to get out of her room. She frantically tries to explain that that's not her anymore. That was a mistake she made during her emo phase. Maria just laughs, leaving the two to sort out the misunderstanding and awkwardness. Kim feels bad and tries to cheer her up by relating to the 8th grader emo phase. He was pretty bad in middle school as well, and pulls up a picture where he was cosplaying as a super cringy emo dude with tattoos and chokers, even talking some fudge about a black dragon rising inside of him. Kishimoto can't believe that the scrawny nerd ended up being a buff Chad. He just smiles. He didn't like being a weak little stick man, so he started working out before joining high school. Kishimoto laughs, wondering if she could have seen this version if she had transferred 2 years earlier. Kishimoto looks at Kim, asking if she doesn't like the current version. She stutters, saying that she really likes the way he is now, but quickly holds her breath, turning the awkwardness up by 10 degrees. Kim and Kishimoto freeze. He asks what she meant, and she stutters that as a good friend. Kim buys the friend story, and they laugh it off while still acting awkward as hell. He thanks her for inviting him, and he got to get an autograph as well. Kishimoto tells Kim that that's payback for helping her ever since she transferred. He's always welcome to visit again. Kim promises to visit again, and if only they could have stayed longer, but it's time to leave. Kishimoto asks if he's got any plans. She's going on a family trip, and Kim tells her to have a safe journey, and if anything happens, call him. She laughs. How does he plan on getting to Hawaii? By swimming. But our boy feels that that's not entirely impossible with a baldy like his. He jokes that he would have to buy a plane ticket and break into his savings. When our boy makes a lame joke, the beauty laughs. And when I make a good joke, I'm slapped with a harassment complaint. Life just isn't fair. They wave at each other, and he promises to see her at school. She feels a pinch of sadness. She remembers all the conversations they've had when it started with his station being 2 stops away from hers. When she borrowed his sushi roll and made him try her omelet. When they went out to try at all the sports clubs. Back on the bus when she was inches away from his gigantic chest. When he was always considerate. She looks at the gentle giant smiling and can't help but smile herself. It's day 5 of the Golden Week. Kim has finished buying all the manga he would ever need. He wonders if he should grab a bite and head out, or maybe just go to his regular ramen shop. That's when someone yells at him to get out of the way. Kim turns to see a blue-haired beauty zooming through the air and giving him a clean angle at her thick thighs that save lives, and tighty whities that should be out of sighties. Too bad our boy can admire that angle for only 5 seconds before getting kneed in the face. With a bleeding nose, he wonders why undies are soaring through the air in the first place. He accidentally grabs the baddie in his arms, and she just clicks her teeth in frustration as a group of villains chases after her. She tells him there's no time to explain. They need to get it moving, but they're moving towards the dead end, so Kim volunteers to show her the way. They hide inside the ramen shop when the villains pass by. While catching their breath, the beauty thanks him for saving her life, but Kim is not too enthusiastic about being a main character. She introduces herself as Sasha, and is surprised to learn that Kim is not Japanese. He tries to ask why there are people chasing her, but she deflects the subject, the same way I do when my dad asks me if I got a job. He's sick of her and decides to leave, but she spills the beans that as a damsel in distress, he's bound to help her without asking questions. But Kim believes in gender equality. But when she pulls out a thick wad of cash as reward to help her escape, he immediately changes her mind and becomes her hired gun. She reveals her blue hair and tells Kim that her daddy is a famous person in Russia, and they're trying to kidnap her for ransom. The plot thickens as this girl is definitely one of the lead heroines from the manga, Sasha Alec. Kim recognizes the girl from Scramble Love, the 5th heroine named Sasha. Sasha changes into a fit that would convince me to risk it all. She asks how the drip. Then he replies it's easier to move in, smooth. All she needs is to have Kim protect her until 7 p.m. from her army of bloodthirsty agents, and he'll get his payday. Sounds simple, right? He asks if she's really okay with that, but she promises to manage what happens later, and if there are any good places to go see. Kim can't believe this girl wants to go sightseeing when she's being chased by kidnappers. She really has tits of steel. She reasons it's better to hide around in places where there are a lot of civilians to stop them from acting. Her name is Alexandra, also known as Sasha, a popular character and a Russian girl. Originally she was supposed to run into Ryuji, but ran into our boy. Maybe it's before her first appearance in a side quest, but he's not sure why a main heroine would be chased by a mob. He wanted to tell her off for trying to buy him with money, but when he saw the thick stacks of cash he couldn't refuse. After all, a wise man named Tobias once said, "Money is always the solution to a problem if you have enough." Kim scoffs, trying to last for 6 hours, and Sasha is having a wonderful time. Looks like she judged him well. He looks pretty strong and can definitely hold out for 6 hours. They get it moving so that their location won't be exposed. But sure enough, an army of agents swarm the area. They rush towards the exit, but one of the thugs blocks their way and throws a jab at Kim. Kim blocks it, using the momentum to swirl around and hit him with a counterattack. He then grabs the guy, holding him over his head as if it's a toddler, and throws him several meters away. That's enough of a deterrent to make everyone stop. He then pushes Sasha into a phone booth and locks it. He realizes these gangsters are completely different from the street delinquents he's used to dealing with. Fortunately, he's fluent in 5 different dialects of violence. The rom-com wasn't supposed to have this plot. He quickly makes the gangsters go down like sacks of potatoes, but one of them slams into his shoulder, knocking the air out of his lungs. This is Captain of the Night Watch, Boris. Kim can't believe that Boris attacked him out of nowhere and actually managed to knock him down. He wonders if his muscles will work against a guy like that. Even Sasha is surprised because Boris has never been beaten by anyone except one man. Kim just sighs. He knew the money was too good to be true. Looks like he'll have to earn his keep. He grits his teeth, gets ready and zooms towards Boris, ready to gouge his eyes out. He slams the balding man into the asphalt. Boris struggles, grabs his arm, and flings him around, trapping him in an arm lock. Boris smiles with satisfaction, but what he doesn't know is that our boy can just pick him up, like a 150-pound trophy. Kim is absolutely furious that this bastard tried to joint lock him. He slams Boris into the asphalt again, knocking him out and surprising everyone into silence. Kim yells that that joint lock could have caused a shoulder injury. Would he have taken responsibility if he couldn't go to the gym anymore and lost his guns? Sasha can believe that the guy is upset about something like that, but how can he be so strong? The gang calls someone in a warehouse to say that Captain Boris has been defeated. There's no martial artist in Japan capable of bringing down their captain, and this 990-centimeter-old Asian man built like a truck did it effortlessly. The man wonders if it's Black Yaksha that's responsible for taking down his captain. This piques his interest, and just what will this Russian mobster do when he finds out that there's no Black Yaksha responsible for his captain's defeat? The entire underground forum is flooded with messages about Black Yaksha coming back. Some have gotten news from the e-security team that he's back. The last time he fought was in Akihabara, and rumors are spreading throughout Tokyo. Fuma is going through the forums, trying to get a lead if Black Yaksha is really back. This mysterious figure is as strong as Zeus. Everyone wonders why he disappeared when the world needed him the most. He was the strongest mercenary in the underworld. Ivan, the Russian mob's strongest warrior, wanted to find a worthy opponent. He held the first God of Fist tournament in 1999 for all the boomers to participate. Through the countless martial artists he faced, none posed a threat until Fuma Kataro, aka Black Yaksha, appeared like a comet. Even though he participated only once, he reached the final and became a legend, forever remembered through the underworld. But to Fuma, it's more than a legend. This man, her voice trails off and he puts on her jacket, trying to get any clues she can about Black Yaksha. After all, that's her father. Meanwhile, our boy visits every otaku's wet dream location, a maid cafe. Sasha really wanted to visit it, and Kim grabs his head in pain. Did they really have to visit a maid cafe out of all the places possible? She just smiles. It's Japan after all. They're seated and handed a cute pink menu. Sasha is more interested in how he beat up all the thugs. Kim is still rethinking his life choices about getting that advance payment. He finds it strange that the street fight wasn't uploaded online. He was sure that a Karen or someone would upload the video by now. Turns out the company's agents carry EMPs with them to disable all electronic devices. Double E Company is a giant Russian weapons company. Kim is more interested in knowing why a company like that is trying to kidnap a girl like her. She whispers she's the child of someone who's in a very high position. The waiter finally arrives with their food. With every sentence she says ending in a meow, our boy feels his heart is about to stop from the cringe. The culture shock is real. Poor guy doesn't know what's in store for him. This is going to be the least cringy thing of his day. Omelette rice is served on the table. He thanks the waitress and she tells them they have to do the ritual before eating. And the Hello Kitty franchise is what she's talking about. She makes a heart shape out of her hands, telling them to tell the food to become delicious and end with a momo kuni. Our boy spits out blood and even Sasha is unsure if she should do it. She still reluctantly does it and tells Kim that he needs to do it too. He feels his cheeks burn but still does it anyway. He's about to die from cringe, and the maid loves his reaction and tells them to enjoy their meal. He's tired, but at least it tastes good. After a few minutes, she returns asking if it's delicious, and she also got some permission to play a card game with them. The loser has to wear a cat headband. Our boy starts sweating bullets. Until the next game starts, the loser will have to wear the cat ears and end every sentence sounding like a cat. Kim wonders if there's another punishment he could opt for, maybe lashing or being flayed alive, but Sasha just makes him, telling him to just win. He vows on his ancestors that he's going to win no matter what. 5 minutes later, he's rocking those cat ears, an embarrassed look on his face. The girls tell him to say something, or else it won't count as his punishment. He stutters, telling them to play another round and ending the sentence with a meow. He promises to win the next round. The sun finally sets, and our boy never won a single round. He gets out of the joint in a sore mood, apologizing that they couldn't go sightseeing as she wanted, but Sasha had fun. There's also something else she needs to confess. Turns out the people after her are bodyguards hired by her father. She's been playing a cat and mouse game just so she could crawl around Japan and go sightseeing. She tells Kim it's okay to go back. She'll contact the bodyguards and go back to the hotel. Our boy finally thought that his worries were over, but the black helicopter zooming towards them suggests otherwise. The mobster laughs that he's finally found him. He jumps from the helicopter and lands heroically, telling Sasha she's been a real pain in the peaches, but thanks to her he's finally found his rival. Why is this boomer jumping from helicopters when my dad can't even get out of the lawn chair without cursing? And why is he calling Sasha so casually? The man just smirks, calling Sasha his daughter, telling her that he's here on personal business. Sasha pleads that it's her fault for sneaking out and she wants to go back. But that doesn't matter anymore to the muscle-headed brute. Kim, being the intellectually gifted person he is, wonders why they're both speaking Japanese instead of Russian, as if that's the most interesting thing happening around him. The man is here looking for a black yaksha appearing in Tokyo. Sasha wonders why black yaksha would show his face suddenly, and why didn't the American cops tell him to stop resisting? The mobster doesn't believe it. He keeps on telling Sasha that the Japanese guy she hired is Black Yaksha, the one who disappeared 10 years ago. A legendary mercenary, the master of disguise and backbending, Fuma Kotaro. He points at Kim, calling him Black Yaksha. Our boy is confused. He could be Asian Yaksha, but definitely not Black Yaksha. Ivan still insists that he's Black Yaksha. The guy has got to settle a match from 18 years ago. Upon looking closer, he finally realizes that this boy is hardly 18 himself. No way did he run the fade all those years ago. He asks if he knows anyone named Fuma Kotaro. He doesn't. It's his first day here. It is awkward silence falls on the trio. And since Daddy's here, Kim decides to go home and leave Sasha. He's glad that the misunderstanding was cleared without needing to throw fists around. Maybe this Fuma guy looks like him or something. Ivan is still interested in knowing if he's responsible for taking down Boris. His Royal Guard Captain Kim wonders if he's talking about the guy he punched earlier. And he's sorry for that. He thought that he was a king tapper. So Kim hit him without holding back. That's enough to spring Ivan into motion. In the blink of an eye, he zooms towards Kim, fist outstretched and a murderous gleam in his eyes. The air vibrates with shock, and our boy manages to block the blow by using his backpack as a makeshift shield. He asks the old dude if he's crazy, but Ivan smiles that the youngling blocked the blow. He wants to see his true strength. Kim complains about all the manga he bought being destroyed. No way is he not going to avenge his books, but Ivan turns into an aftermagist and unleashes a flurry of punches at Kim, finishing it with a devastating roundhouse kick. Kim is still holding his ground and Ivan is interested even more. He's an incredible genius. Kim wonders why is this battle whore hitting him and calling him a genius in the same breath. Ivan just laughs. An ordinary high schooler with no combat training is going toe-to-toe with his royal guard and himself. It's impossible. He's a genius that appears only once in 100 years. Kim mods this old man to shut the hell up, or gets hit with a job offer instead. Ivan asks Kim to work under him. He promises to help his talent bloom. Kim finally understands what has happened. Scramble Love is not a normal rom-com anymore. That man's offer is something we would hear in a shonen manga. At first it was a rom-com, but now it's different since he came into the world and started pumping iron. The reason why he's been constantly dragged into fights is that he's been mistaken for a muscular main character. Maybe that's why he's got superhuman strength. He even imagines himself on the cover with Ryuji. He wonders if the manga is being printed by Jumping, and that explains why it changed from the unpopular rom-com to a hit shonen. The author might have cracked under the pressure and the rankings, and if that's the case, then he's going to be surrounded by dangerous people from now on. Kim's not too stoked about his change, and Ivan is about to hit him while giving him an offer for a scholarship. All expenses paid and a house and a car. Hell, I would burn my arts degree if I got an offer like that. But our boy proves that he's built different by blocking the blow, smirking in Ivan's face and refusing his offer. No matter how strong this old man is, Kim believes he's destined to lose to Ryuji someday. So naturally he should stay close to Ryuji. That's how he'll be safe. Poor Ivan doesn't know that our boy wants to use Ryuji's plot armor to stay safe. He's about to hit Ivan and get him going on his reincarnation journey. A punch through the solar plexus knocks the air out of his lungs. It's followed by another punch, but Kim sees an opening and slaps the Russian mobster across the face. More disrespectful than hurtful. Ivan is pissed off and Kim realizes that he fudged up. Ivan grabs his head, raises him off the ground and calls him boy, like a certain god of war. He tells Kim that when he tries to hit something, he shouldn't use pillow hands but should hit with the intent to kill. The man demonstrates by putting everything he's got in his next blow. Will our boy resume his reincarnation, or will he survive his encounter with the Russian mobster? Kim manages to tilt his head a few inches away, saving himself from turning into a crushed grape. The entire wall behind him cracks under Grandpa's fist. Kim huffs in exhaustion. It was way too close for his liking. He lived only because he managed to shake off his grip. But what in the world was that Detroit smash a punch? That's the kind of move my grandpa used to pull as a generational wife-beater. Ivan finally starts saying something in Russian. Kim raises an eyebrow. English mother fudger, do you speak it? He wonders. He explains this is the Roman Imperial secret martial arts. It means the Emperor's double-headed eagle. Kim realizes that he's in a world of pain. He tries to block the incoming series of blows but barely manages to save his vitals. He can't keep up even when using his metavision. Sasha pleads with her daddy to stop, but Big Ivan tells her to butt out. This is between him and the guy he refused. He'll either take Kim with him or bury him 6 feet under. Kim is breathless. For the first time in his life, he's actually challenged and losing. Ivan tells the boy to stop trying to be a hero. If he doesn't want to die, he needs to come back to Russia. Ivan promises to teach him every technique he knows. He's a natural-born fighter. Of course he can block all his attacks. The attacks even elite members of his clan can't. The weak need to submit to those above. And he promises Kim all the power in the world if he agrees to his offer. Kim realizes that as long as the answer is no, he's going to be beaten to a pulp. Kim whispers that he has precious people around him. Images of his friends flash in his mind, and there's no reason for him to throw that all away just to get money, fame, power, a mansion, a car in Russia. He tells Grandpa to shut his yap hole and go back to the icy wasteland. Ivan admires his conviction, but that conviction is definitely going to lead him to a grave. He dodges Kim's blow, crouches, and is about to crush it. The next jab sends a shockwave across his face. Kim staggers, trying to catch his breath, but Ivan isn't kind enough to let him do that. He follows with another devastating blow. Kim tries to counterattack with a punch, but Ivan just tilts his neck out of the way, grabs him by the collar, and hoists him up before hitting him squarely in the solar plexus. Kim spits out a globule of blood. Compared to Boris, this guy is pure nightmare fuel. He really is the strongest. Sasha can't believe that she's looking at a match between the strongest in history and the strongest of today. She yells at her daddy to let Kim go for protecting her, but Ivan is not in the mood for conversation. She keeps on nagging, and Ivan threatens to undo the mistake he made 18 years ago if she doesn't stop. He grabs her collar and throws her several meters away. Kim is pissed that he won't even spare his daughter. He quietly gets up, his whole body screaming in pain. Ivan tells him to run his fists as much as he is running his mouth, or else things are going to go south. Ivan is about to deliver the finishing blow when something whizzes past him. 3 kunai plant next to his feet. Ivan recognizes it as black Yakasha shurikens. Another blade whizzes past him, and a female shinobi plants herself between Kim and Ivan. Kim recognizes her from the Kendo Club, and the current 17th head of the Fuma ninja clan, Fuma Yukika. Kim wonders why she is here. She should get out while she has a chance. The Fuma reveals that the man this boomer is looking for is her father. They lost contact with the mysterious man 10 years ago when he left the village. And Ivan remembers when Black Yakasha left the Hidden Weed village. For some mysterious reason, they said that Yakasha had a daughter, but he didn't know that she was a fighter as well. Fuma quickly passes Kim a golden pill, telling him there is no time to explain. This is a pill passed down through a clan, better than a sensu bean, because it can draw out his hidden potential. Ivan laughs. He is not sure what they are planning, but it is not going to work. He won't just stand by and let them have a power-up. Fuma tells him to rest up. She'll get him his 1 minute. He looks at the golden pill. He is not sure and doesn't want to accept drugs from strangers, but right now anything sounds better than that and being beaten into a pulp. As soon as he plops the pill in his mouth, it ignites every key channel in his body. He starts sweating like crazy, hoping this is not one of those pills that exchange power for future potential. His muscles start to bulge, and an intense inferno erupts around him. He screams in pain, wondering if Fuma has tricked him, or if this will be his salvation. The inferno intensifies by the minute, followed by our boy's screams of pain. Even his clothes are burnt off. It's like he has turned into the sun itself. I can't even believe that this $20 haircut, having bread, is actually turning into Asura from Temu. But Kim feels he is on top of the world, and a third eye is opened up, enabling him to see the difference between the two. He can feel an unknown enormous energy swirling around him. Fuma is surprised. The effect is greater than she anticipated, as if the entire key of his body has been opened at once, kind of like Kaioken. But it only lasts 5 minutes. He needs to use that time to deal with Ivan. Ivan, on the other hand, is intrigued. Will he finally get a worthy opponent? He puts a hand in front of the girls, telling Ivan to know that he can't raise his hand against his daughter. They are crossing a line and making him a hopeless villain. Ivan just laughs hysterically. What is he going to do? Call the FBI? His words are nothing more than sound if they are not backed by fists. The girls can't believe that this boomer is a menace to society. Ivan tells Kim to defeat him right here and right now to prove that he is right. A blazing tiger erupts behind him as he tells Kim to give it his all. He throws a first jab at Kim, and unlike before, Kim actually withstands the blows. Ivan is exhilarated and Kim is horrified. He can see Ivan move and follow his movements. He waits for a jab and dodges it at the last moment, going for a counterattack. For the first time since the fight started, Ivan is pushed back a little. Kim follows up with a counterattack right to the face, and Ivan manages to dodge it by the breadth of his hair. Maybe it's because of the pill he took, but he is on a whole different level. Ivan refused to believe that. As the strongest in the world, he would lose to a mere Japanese high schooler. He yells, calling himself Griffin the Emperor, and even making weird noises like an eagle would, telling him to die. Blue clashes against red. Kim looks at the fist coming in slow motion and grabs his arm, but that's what Ivan expected. He's going to rip his hand off with his griffin claws. Sure enough, his fingers dig into Kim's flesh, drawing blood. Kim grimaces in pain and tells Ivan to hold on tightly. He's in for a ride of his life. He starts swirling around the old man, throwing him under his feet and following it up with a kick right in the chin. Kim freezes as Ivan flickers between consciousness and unconsciousness. He can't believe that the strongest mobster in the world has been defeated by a Japanese high schooler. It's impossible. Kim stands there in his jacked-up glory. He apologizes because he's not Japanese. He's Korean, and that somehow shocks the girls more than his victory. With the head of the egg family down, he can finally go back to his normal life. Fuma wasn't expecting Kim to come out on top. Just how can he be so strong? Sasha runs towards him, asking if he's okay. She apologizes for her father and promises to take care of whatever happens next. He just sighs. Sasha knows that her father won't go down with something like this. She'll try to get him out of the country. Kim finally loses consciousness and feels the backlash from using the pill. Fuma volunteers to drag him away while Sasha deals with her daddy. Civilians are starting to gather around, wondering if the man on the floor is the immortal Ivan. While they're wondering what happened, both parties part ways, perhaps never to see each other again. Golden Week finally ends, and Kim walks through the halls like a zombie due to the aftermath of the battle. His shoulders are stiffer than the mysterious socks found in my brother's room, as if he's been hit by a truck. Thankfully, there were no articles related to that fight, and he can still keep a low profile. But our boy doesn't know what's in store for him. A few minutes from now, the teacher tells everyone to shut up. They have a new transfer student joining in today. She's coming straight from their sister's school in Russia. Yes, as everyone's guessed, this exchange student is none other than Sasha. Kim's face turns pale. He doesn't want to deal with that ogre of a father she has. She introduces herself as someone who loves shooting, horseback riding, watching anime, and reading books. And recently, she's also come to love this man over here. She points at Kim, who realizes that his life as an NPC is over. Even Ryuji smiles, wondering what's up with the sudden love confession. He didn't take Kim for a lady's boy. Kim feels like he's about to pass out as he looks at the blue-haired figure pointing at him. The entire class is interested in Sasha's stories. She tells everyone she learned Japanese by watching anime, and her parents are into business. They're more interested in knowing if she's really into Kim. Kim freezes, hoping it's not like what she said. Sasha reveals he helped her out, and her ideal type of man is someone stronger than her daddy. So of course she's digging Kim. Everyone is interested in the love triangle Kim has going around. She's got Kishimoto, Karen, and Sasha eating out of his hands. And according to rumors, he's also involved with the school president. The rumors are spreading, and Kishimoto feels bad for a friend. She also coldly wonders if he's been busy while she was on a trip. He even got himself a foreign girlfriend. Did he order her through the dark web or something? Kim says it's a misunderstanding, but Kishimoto shudders that it looks like a rom-com MC's excuse. Kim realizes he's turned into what he hated the most. Sasha was one of the original heroines, and Ryuji was supposed to deal with her. But now everything's changed because he meddles. He wanted to live a comfortable life as an NPC while Ryuji dealt with the drag of having a woman fight over him. He's really suffering from success, complaining that his steak is too juicy and his lobster is too buttery. God damn it, it should have been me. He's still complaining about his normal life being ruined. That's when Karen arrives, looking like her usual tomboy self. She acts all warm towards Kim, asking if he had a good holiday. Sasha feels her spider senses tingling. She tells Karen to get away from her man. Karen asks, since when were they a thing? Bro feels both of his arms squished by 2 pairs of marshmallows. Redhead yells that Kim is her friend Kishimoto's boyfriend. Kishimoto gasps in surprise, feeling dizzy, and her boy starts mogging all of a sudden, wondering since when did he become Kishimoto's boyfriend without even knowing. Kishimoto yells at her that it's not like that, they're only friends. Karen can't believe that she's been mistaken the whole time and didn't make a move because of Kishimoto. Sasha wants to claim our boy the same way a certain country claims land as soon as oil is discovered on it. While the two are going through a catfight, a nonchalant girl walks up to Kim asking for his notes. She missed a couple of lectures. Kim hands her the notes, and she promises to return them after finishing. Kishimoto wonders why someone good at studying is trying to borrow Kim's notes. Kim replies she's one of the top 10 students in the grade. Karen doubles down, so why is she asking for someone like Kim's notes? Kim reveals that he's actually good at studying, and that makes all the girls' software crash harder than Windows XP. Kim yells that he's first in the grade, and that's even more shocking. His buddy tells them that he looks like he's bad at studying, but is actually a genius. Any normal person would react the same way. All 3 girls are impressed by him, and our boy decides to excuse himself eloquently by telling them he's got to go take a dump. They realize that he's embarrassed, and he wonders if he can get away from these 3 while being discreet, maybe hang out by himself. Poor bro is then surrounded by the three baddies in the cafeteria. Kim feels nostalgic for the days he ate his lunch in the parking lot peacefully. Now they're following him around like baby chicks while everyone glares at him in envy. He wonders why the girls are so energetic and decides to bring the party a few notches down by asking how their midterms went. All three girls bow their heads in shame. They should study regularly, but they're too busy goofing around. Karen is bad at history, Sasha is bad at Japanese, and Kishimoto is bad at common sense. Kim realizes this is the perfect opportunity to tell them to form a study group. After all, apes together are strong. They immediately start deciding whose house should be built. They immediately start deciding which house they should use as the first meetup. And Kim laughs like a diabolical supervillain. He'll finally be free on the weekend to do what he wants to do. The sun rises and Kim wipes the sweat from his brow. He's finally completed installing the home gym he always dreamed of. Using the protection money he got from Sasha, he's got new equipment to try out. He grabs the dumbbell, bench pressing it enthusiastically, but his phone starts ringing. He wonders who it is. Turns out it's Kishimoto with an army of some scary-looking people behind her. She tells Kim to get down as soon as possible. Kim wonders what the hell is going on, and why the Yakuza-looking bodyguards are surrounding her and giving him the stink eye. Will our boy's life ever be peaceful, or as chaotic as Chichi's life when she decided to marry Goku? Kim looks around in amazement. Since when was Kishimoto a mob queen? Kishimoto signals him to get his muscled-up peaches into the car. The one who is driving is the guy he knocked out brutally, Captain Boris. Kishimoto reveals this guy is Sasha's uncle. Kim quietly sits next to Sasha, asking how this happened. She replies that he is her bodyguard. Of course he will be where she goes. Kim feels sorry that Boris has to drive the guy who beat him up a few days ago as a chauffeur. They arrive at Karen's mansion. The chairman is glad to see everyone, and Kim recognizes him despite him wearing that ridiculous wig that day. He still decides to pretend not to know him. He introduces himself as Kim, and the chairman is immediately moved by what a dependable young man he is. He is glad that Karen chose him. He even views him as a future son-in-law candidate, as if marrying Karen is a statewide national exam. He then turns his attention towards Boris, saying it's been a while. They go way back, and the chairman can't believe Ivan's daughter attends the same school as his darling little Karen, even the same class. Poor guy doesn't know that they even like the same guy. They ask about his injuries, and Boris points at Kim and talks in Russian. Kim wonders why the hell he is pointing at him and spilling the beans. Doesn't he know that snitches get stitches? The translator tells the chairman that he was injured by Kim. Kishimoto can't believe it. Boris also reveals that Ivan was seriously injured by this youngster as well. The fist of destruction was actually slapped by a muscular teenager. Kim realizes he's doomed. Two gang bosses have their eyes on him. He wonders if he can just get kicked out of this mansion so he can go back home and train in peace. He tries to go to his happy place, and that is deadlifting 300 kgs. The chairman excitedly says that's expected of his future son-in-law candidate, and Karen tells her father to just be quiet and not to say weird stuff in front of her friends. He apologizes, and they are escorted to her room. Kim looks at his new chaotic life and wonders if he actually did Ryuji a favor by becoming the heroine's target. Everyone sits at the table and he goes over everyone's weaknesses one after another. Kishimoto is weak in science-related subjects, probably because of being blonde. She needs to memorize all the formulas in the book. Next up, there will be a quiz, so they need to work hard. Karen is weak in history, so she needs to find another memory method, and Sasha should share her notes and they will go over Japanese lessons together. The study session finally begins. The first hour is kind of tough, but the girls still pull through. The second hour has Sasha playing on her phone, Karen making a robot out of erasers, and Kishimoto catching some Z's while our boy studies diligently. As a grad student who was molested by engineering in his past life, a 2-hour study session is nothing. After studying all this time, he decides to take a break and asks if he can use Karen's kitchen. Karen wonders why. He just smiles. Everyone's tired, so he'll make everyone a snack. They're surprised to see that this man can fight, study, be charismatic, and cook as well. He finally serves 4 bowls of fruit dessert, and all the girls are slobbering over the bowls. It's so pretty that they even take pictures for the gram. Sasha, being the boldest of them all, tells Kim to open wide and they'll trade a bite. He looks at the spoon hovering in front of him. He then looks at her pretty puppy dog eyes and can't refuse, and reluctantly eats a bite. Both Karen and Kishimoto feel that they're going to commit a war crime if they don't get Kim to eat out of their hand as well. They're both crashing out, and Karen feels like an idiot for not making her move sooner. All because she thought that Kishimoto and Kim were a thing, only for Kishimoto to refuse and give Sasha the opening she's been looking for. The truth is she's fallen for Kim the moment she put on his hoodie. Kim looks at the fruit in front of him, and Karen decides that now she has a real chance at romance, and she is definitely not going to blow it. The midterms are finally over, and Kishimoto did better than usual. Kim is proud of her hard work. She wants to celebrate by going out for karaoke. She'll treat them. The only one who did badly on the exams was his buddy. Speaking of exams, there's another rumor floating around the school that he fought 20 Russian mafia members on the street and won. Kim can't believe that there were witnesses around, but his friend still doesn't believe that rumor. No way an idiot can fight 20 members at once. Sasha smirks, whispering in his ear, asking if it's true. Sasha also decides to formally invite herself to their karaoke session to let them hear her heavenly voice. They agree, and the whole group sets out towards the karaoke bar in Shibuya. Kim's friend asks if they're hungry. It is lunchtime after all, and he knows a killer burger place right ahead. That's when a delinquent whizzes past them on a motorcycle and calls them an idiot. Kishimoto quickly fishes into her bag and realizes that her wallet's gone. It's full of dough and she was supposed to treat them today. Kim would rather die than not let her pay for today's outing. He throws away his bag and sprints after the motorbike, promising to be back soon and they should head into the restaurant. The delinquent, on the other hand, is inspecting the contents of the wallet. He's glad that a student was carrying this amount of money. That's when he hears someone shrieking their names. They turn to see a 200-pound ball of muscle barreling towards them with a killer aura surrounding him, more terrifying than a raging bull elephant chasing a safari jeep. The boys immediately mount their bikes and put the pedal to the metal, but Kim keeps up with the bike at full throttle, even gaining on them through sheer rage and brutability. He tells them to give the wallet, grabbing the bike so hard that it cracks under his fingers. He casually picks up the bike as if he's picking up a naughty kid riding a bicycle. The delinquents immediately switch up their attitude and apologize. They sincerely hope that he's not related to Big Terry, and they won't have to pay in another way for their crimes. They quickly hand the wallet, turn to leave, and ride into the sunset. Kim is glad that he got the wallet. He remembers Rika promising to treat them to karaoke. A mysterious figure looks at him from behind a pillar. Is he Kim's next challenge or something we can't even think about? The sun finally starts to dip, and our boy decides to turn in for the night. Now he'll head to the gym and complete his workout. That's when a mysterious figure calls him boss, telling him to wait up. A man almost as muscular as Kim calls him boss and says that he's got something to say. Kim smiles awkwardly, telling the bro that he's straight. And just who is he? For the first time in his life, someone's almost as well built and tall as Kim. But the man immediately kneels and asks Kim to accept him as his disciple. Just what in the One Punch Man is going on? Everyone recognizes Kim as the owner of the Korean restaurant and wonders why he is talking with a delinquent. The guy introduces himself as Goto. Kim quickly grabs him and whisks him away. Goto is also 17 years old, even though he looks like a grown guy. He works in construction and has 4 kids to feed and clothe. He's actually the leader of a biker gang called the Night Parade of 100 Demons. Kim wonders what's up with that cringy A name, and the guy who stole their wallet also belonged to that gang. So why did Goto follow him? Goto reveals that because Kim is the true definition of a man. When he was young, despite being larger than others, he was timid and was bullied. He was bullied inside school, outside school, everywhere he went. That's when he wanted to become a really strong man and started to change his appearance and his behavior. He used enough gel on his head to drown a colony of ants, and even getting a motorcycle to look cool. Even started acting like a gang member, pretending to be strong. And as someone who was bullied, he slowly transitioned to the leader of the bullies. But seeing Kim stand up for his friends, chase after a speeding motorcycle, and beat the living stuffing out of his friend to recover the wallet, showed him what a true man is supposed to be. Kim feels a pang of guilt. He just wanted to go to karaoke for free. Goto still insists on being his disciple. Kim wonders why his life keeps on throwing him curveballs. How is he supposed to get rid of this big crybaby? He then decides to accept him as his disciple on one condition. He needs to endure 3 days of brutal training. If he can make it to the end, he will be his first and only disciple. Secretly, Kim has decided to work him to the bone to ensure that this guy leaves and gives up on his own. It is barely 4 in the morning, and Kim is already out running, with Goto struggling behind him. Kim thought that this guy must have good stamina for being so muscular. He wanted to push him hard, but he is kind of pathetic and disappointing. Kim wonders why the hell he is disappointed. The same question my father asked when the doctor told him he was going to be a dad. Kim finds it easier to get him to leave if he pushes him, but maybe deep down he just wanted a decent workout partner, a gym bro. He finally pulls up to the monkey bars and tells his fellow monkey to try a pull-up. For someone so muscular, he yells at the top of his lungs, surprising Kim. But poor dude can't even perform a single pull-up and falls on the floor. Kim can't believe that someone so muscular is so out of shape. He tells Goto that they can't train anymore. He is absolutely trash and worse than Yamcha. But Goto starts pleading that he should at least wait 3 days. If he can't build up to a basic pull-up, he should leave. Goto keeps on insisting that since he focused on bulking up, he neglected his stamina. And now, even though he looks strong, he is weak as hell. That's why he wants to be Kim's disciple. The pathetic boy keeps on rubbing his hands. Kim finally feels sorry and tells him to follow his lead on the pull-up bar. First, he needs to do dead hangs. Goto keeps on hanging from the bar until the sun rises. Later, while walking to school, Kim can't believe that Goto actually made it through that brutal morning session. It motivated him to take this seriously. He is a decent guy and doesn't belong in a biker gang. His friend pulls up, asking what's up. Someone amazing is coming back to school, one of the three beauties. Kim doesn't even know who the three beauties are. His friend decides to educate this uncultured swine. The first beauty is Kumiko, one of the most elegant women on the campus. Second up is Fuma, captain of the Kendo club. And the third is the highly anticipated one, an actress called Minato. Kim wasn't expecting Minato to belong to their school. His friend starts simping hard for the actress, waiting for her arrival. Kim is not impressed. He heads away and finally reaches the gym at the end of the day. Goto is behind him, and they meet with the head coach. The coach is impressed with Goto's build. Kim wants the coach to help his friend and try him out for 3 days. The coach laughs. He can't say no to Kim. And since Goto has a great physique, he's got high expectations. Poor guy is going to get his expectations crushed, just like I did when I completed my arts degree and got into the job market. The coach tells everyone to change. First up is cardio, and of course Goto is about to fall off the treadmill. He quickly pushes the stop button and actually falls. The coach feels that he is hopeless. For someone so huge, he's got the muscle coordination and cardio endurance of a 13-year-old gooner. If he is in such bad shape, the coach is not sure what he can do. Goto still pleads to complete the 3 days, even grabbing his legs. The coach yells, "He's not that kind of dirty old man. He needs to get off his knees." The coach tells everyone to stand up, and Goto is glad that he got another chance. At the end of the day, he looks like he's fought Satan on his home ground. Kim asks if he's all right, and in a trembling voice, he says that he's fine. To become his disciple, he's willing to do anything. Kim realizes he can't put it off any longer. He tells Goto that they need to come to an understanding. He needs to promise that if he wants to be his disciple and a real man as of today, he needs to quit the biker gang. Goto gasps in surprise. Can he really throw away his only identity for a man he just met? Kim tells Goto that they can't move forward if he doesn't quit the gang, and he won't be a disciple anymore. Kim holds his breath, waiting for Goto's answer. Will he really leave his old ways for a brighter tomorrow? Goto looks conflicted. The leader of the night parade of 100 demons took him in when he was struggling, called him a brother in arms. They were his family. Kim tells Goto that whether he leaves the gang has nothing to do with him, but a true man is someone who protects something important to them. For example, family. Goto remembers that he's got to protect his mom. Ever since his dad went to get milk when he was 3, his mom has been raising him by herself. He realizes Kim's right. He needs to step down from the biker gang and follow Kim so that he can become someone who can protect his mom. All this time he's been thinking about his own wounds and never wondered how his mother was doing. Kim smiles, glad that his disciple is going to be a better son. Tomorrow is going to be the last day of their training, and it's going to be extra hard. Kim laughs, asking if he's ready, and Goto enthusiastically says yes. The next day, Kim looks at Goto pumping iron like crazy. He asks the coach what's going on. Turns out Goto has been running the machine for an hour since Kim's arrival. The coach tells him to control his breathing and tighten his core. He's a guy full of determination, and since he's strong, he's also good at aerobic and anaerobic exercises. Kim feels a pang of pride when he looks at his student improving. Even after the workout, he can barely move. They both work their upper and lower bodies. It's only natural that he won't be able to walk, but tomorrow is going to be their last day, and he's got a special workout planned for him. Goto, even though he's crying, thanks him for his guidance. Kim fishes into his bag and brings out a huge bento box, telling him to take it home and eat it with his mother. Goto can't believe that Bossman made them food. It's got plenty of protein in his traditional Chinese style. Goto is moved to tears, bawling his eyes out and thanking Kim for his generosity. Even though he's the leader of a gang that caused him trouble, Kim is still being so kind and is truly worthy of being called a man. A little girl is surprised to see a big man crying like a kid and bowing in front of another bigger man. Goto tells his best friend that after finishing training, he'll definitely become Kim's disciple. Honestly, with the way things are moving, I'm worried something will happen to that bento box. Later, he's walking home with his lunchbox, feeling like the luckiest guy in the world for meeting such an amazing boss. He quit being a biker, a delinquent, and a disappointment. That's when someone calls him boss. He holds his breath and turns to see his former biker beaten up and crying, asking for his help. The next day, it's already 9, and Goto is nowhere in the gym. Kim worries that maybe he gave up and wanted to return to the way of the bike again. He feels bad for not getting his number. 2 hours later, there's no sign of Goto. Kim packs up and turns to leave, feeling kind of sad that he didn't get the gym bro he wanted. At least he won't have to train any more disciples. Their last meeting still replays in his mind like a broken record, and he feels disappointed. That's when one of the bikers walks up to Kim, asking if he is Goto's boss. He's got a message that Goto can't come up. There's an emergency. As he tries to run away, Kim tells him to stop and tells him what happened. Meanwhile, the Devil Rider leader Mao is aura farming with his gang, facing Goto, whose muscles look intimidating. As a rhino on a rampage, Goto is pissed that Mao caused trouble for his former teammates, and Mao just laughs. They're his former teammates. Stepping down made it easier for Mao to take over the gang and merge it with his own. His former bike members are all beaten up and bruised into submission. They apologize to Goto for being so weak, but Goto calls Mao a bastard, promising not to let him get away. That's when a budget villain with a $5 haircut blocks his path. This is Mito, the guy he appointed as the new leader, only for him to stab him in the back. Goto curses that his muscles are sore from the training. That's when the lion's sin of pride arrives. Kim walks up with the sun shining behind his back. He's pissed as hell. Everyone wonders who the hell this walking artillery unit is. Kim looks at Goto, asking if he's in trouble. Turns out, he made the messenger spill the beans about what happened. Mito, who became the current leader, worked with Mao, a rival gang leader, to merge the two gangs. After Goto's resignation, the Devil Riders immediately pulled up and beat them black and blue. He probably wants to become the strongest gang in the world. Kim realizes that things are turning bad, and he's partly to blame for it. He tells the little sapling to lead the way. He's going to deal with it personally. Presently, he comes face to face with Mao, who mistakes Kim for the former living legend and boss of the Devil Riders. Kim says he's not that guy, he just met Goto a few days ago. This idiotic musclehead tries to tempt Kim into joining his gang and becoming his right-hand man. Little bro doesn't know that our boy turned down a Russian mafia boss. Everyone tells Kim not to be swayed. Mao is a real villain, and they don't need to join him. Kim calls him ridiculous. That's a childish offer. And just what does he expect to do once he's the strongest gangster? Does he have power to oppose authority? The leader says he's going to make everyone weaker than him kneel. But Kim, being an undergraduate trapped in a jockey's body, tells the gangster that the police are leaving them alone because they're a small gang. Once they're big enough, the authorities are definitely going to put them behind bars, where they will be riding a different kind of bike after dropping the soap. Mao refuses to believe that, promising to crush anyone who comes after him. Kim realizes that he's going to have to show them what happens when they overestimate themselves. Mao tells everyone to attack Kim. Maybe then he'll get some sense. A couple of riders circle around Kim. He knows that there are a lot of members. One of them tries to hit Kim with a chain, but he just grabs it and yanks the biker off his ride, straight into the air and right onto the next biker. He immediately takes down 5 of them with a single swing. Even the leader is not so confident about facing Kim anymore, but Kim tells him to bring it on. Anyone who wants to die needs to come at him. 2 other idiots try to swing their bats, only for the bats to shatter and their skulls to be monster mashed. He throws them away, and the leader calls them idiots. He's a human after all, and they can't handle a single guy. That's like complaining that 100 coughing babies can't take care of a single nuke. The leader tries to get rid of them, but they can't get rid of a single nuke. Goto throws a wooden baton towards Kim, and he smiles, thanking his buddy and making quick work of anyone who's 1 meter away from him. He tears through the enemy lines, making his way towards the leader. The leader won't allow this. Kim looks at the biker speeding towards him. He freezes, wondering if his new life is going to end with him being road-killed. The leader tells him to die a miserable death. The bike speeds towards Kim, and he freezes. A loud crash makes everyone stop what they're doing. Goto holds their breath because this demon of a teenager is holding back a bike going at full throttle with his bare hands. This is just not possible. Why the hell is Kim not being pushed back? The biker calls him a monster, but that's the only thing Kim has been hearing recently. The coach calls him a monster for pumping iron, even hitting him with a horrible accusation that he's on steroids. That can be the only way he can explain his explosive muscle strength. Kim grits his teeth, yelling that he's natty and not a monster or a steroid user. In his rage, he casually picks up the bike with the rider over his head, making everyone rethink their life choices. The motorcycle alone is over 200k guys. Mo quickly tells Kim that he never called him a steroid user, but it's too late. He drops the bike in a huge explosion, knocking the leader out of his senses and making everyone piss their pants and run away simultaneously. Kim scratches his chin. He also notices the leader has a scar on his face. Instead of trying to get his honor back by capturing the avatar, he started terrorizing kids on the streets out of his own insecurity. He asks Goto where he's going. Goto realizes he can't leave after all. He's the only one keeping these sorry losers together. He just smiles, telling Goto to do what he's got to do. He probably can't be a master and disciple anymore, but he's more than a real man already, because he's got something precious to protect. He's also welcome to work out anytime he wants. The gym master likes him. Goto relaxes a smile and with tears in his eyes promises to visit again. Monday finally rolls by. Everyone is talking about Kim. A high school biker gang fight is trending online. And of course, our boy is the poster thumbnail. He realizes that everyone knows that he fought gangsters, and that's why everyone's looking at him. His buddy wonders why the girls are not here today. Turns out they wanted to eat together and discuss something. His bro is kind of disappointed, even though he had 0 shot. Later, his bro feels like his heart's about to stop or burst or combust at the same time, because the star of the show has finally arrived, a stunning beauty and a celebrity who's supposed to attend school. His bro is losing his mind to get an autograph, and of course the beauty makes eye contact with Kim. She comes closer and closer and greets Kim and his bro, asking if she can sit with him. His bro immediately folds and Kim wonders what is going on. Turns out she wants to ask Kim for a favor. Maybe he is interested in seeing Kim and wants to know what's going on. Maybe he is interested in debuting as an actor. Kim gasps in surprise. Since when did he turn from an NPC to the main character of a fight manga, and now to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson character? As an actor, just what is in store for our boy, only time will tell.